They can hear me now. Okay, hi everyone. We do apologize about being, at this point, severely late. We had to create the scene from
Technical
scratch.
difficulties.
Yes, that. So, we're here with, some D&D. I'm your host as well as one of the players, but I'll leave it to John, who's the DM.
Well, good morning or good afternoon, everybody. We are here for a one-shot session that's going to take 2 sessions. So there you go. It is set in the world of Husqvarna or the Dog Pound D&D, which you can catch right here on Metadog's channel. We stream anywhere between 1 to 3 times a week. There's a bunch of different parties, a whole interactive world going on. Our players today are members of those various parties and whatnot, and we are here to do a prequel to our story, as this is set roughly 1500 to 2000 years ago in the world, in the bustling, hustling city of New York. Please be aware and advised that all of the puns are terrible, and there are a lot of them. That being said, let's introduce our heroes. The first one, being played by Puzz, is going to need to come to the front here. Teddy Moosevelt, a level 20.
Hi there, I'm Teddy Moosevelt. How can I help you this fine day?
Oh my goodness.
He is a level 20 Paladin, Oath of Glory. Next, we have, to the front, Ron the Pearl Man, a level 20 fighter / samurai. Formerly a pirate, now under suspicion of being reformed, and currently engaged in politics.
Hey, I'm politicking here.
Played by our very own Wes. Let's see, the next one is Stand in the Lee, a level 20 Ascendant Dragon Monk, played by Matt. Sorry, played by Matt. I get confused because there are a bunch of people with the same name in this thing. He is a older and very storied hero, much beloved by the townsfolk, but not quite as beloved as our final man, Neil DeKelp Tyson.
Hello. The
He
universe.
is a draconic sorcerer, level 20, and all 4 of these people are members of the Deep Admiralty, the ruling council of New York City. They rule in balance or in opposition to the current regent, who is man in the middle there, Regent Philbin. Let me pull up my notes here. I told you the puns were bad.
No
That's my
relation
favorite.
in the real world, right?
No, God, no.
Well, I mean, both are dead, so.
Too soon.
Long story short, in the world of Husqvarna, where our current campaign takes place, there is an awful lot of continents and land masses and wars and civil strife and crazy stuff going on. But back in yesteryear, during our current one-shot, the world was mostly peaceful. The Dragonborn, who founded the island city of New York, basically said, "Hey, god of the ocean, Momoa, we could use some help. We'd like to be powerful. So what do you say we set up a deal here, huh?" And he was kind of like, all right, let's try it. And try it they did, and work. Boy, howdy did it. They are the current reigning empire in the world. However, they are not militant at all. They are mostly peaceful, only engaging in war when there are things like pirates and forceful negotiations of peace necessary throughout the world. Recently returned from hunting pirates and negotiating are 2 of our council members, Ron the Pearl Man, and I believe it was Stand in the Lee. Our story is going to take place as the Deep Admiralty board meets for the first time in many months, as finally all of the members are here. So we are going to go to the Imperial Provincial Spire. If you catch that pun, let me know what you think in the chat. Starting off here in the Deeping Meet, as the council hall on this floor of the Imperial Spire is known. We have the entire council around their chairs. The various factions that make up the council are the Silver faction, the Melodic faction, and the Harbor faction. Currently, as we are joining our intrepid adventurers, we have just heard several reports from various citizens from around the city, including the good captain, Billy Scholl, here on the left. He recently has been reporting that there is a lot of restlessness and rumblings deep in the water. The harbor is full of restless fish, and the ocean themselves seems a little on edge. Nobody knows why, because, like I said, it's a mostly peaceful empire. Behind him is a visitor by name Lord Senfield, and he was complaining that the food on the transports coming into town are lousy. Also talking to him after having given his report is a man named Lightning McKing. He's been telling the council that while the weather is favorable, the omens are not. Currently, though, we have a very large orcish-looking fellow named Bobus Drysand. He is giving a report to the council. He is just finishing up that, just kind of a vague warning to the council that the various goings on in the city politically are leading the city to a path of corruption. And as he warns them, he specifically warns that there is a recent shipment of elemental monsters. By the way, I'm not going to stop and explain everything. If you're not familiar with D&D, just trust that I'm not wrong unless somebody else calls me on it, because that happens and you'll know. A recent shipment of elemental monsters was brought into the city, and that's what made Bobus Streisand come up here and start yelling at people. Long story short, the council is sick and tired of the meeting. They just want to be done. They haven't had one in a while. Everything's good. But we cut to Bobus Streisand, and he says to everyone, "Mark my words. What you are doing here in this city will bring no good. And yea, great harm is standing at the door." To which one of the council members, Bill Mocker, simply stands up and says, "Enough of your words. We've had enough of this. I'm tired and I want to go. The hour grows late. We can do what we want. We have always done so. It has always worked." And he dismisses him. And as he retreats, the council is about to be adjourned. Let me check my notes here. But as everybody starts standing up from their chairs around the table, he turns and he says, "If you leave the path of Momoa, there will be no saving grace. And leave it, you are on course to do." To which Bill Mocker says, "What? No!" Basically, critically failing his persuasion roll. And everybody knows he's lying, which is bad because Momoa is the god that they've served for a millennium. So, as the council starts to descend into pandemonium, people start asking questions. What do you mean abandoning Momoa? The members of the council who have not been here very long are kind of going, "Wait, what did I miss? What's going on here?" The people who are here have not heard anything about this, and it kind of sorts itself out that apparently the Silver faction has been up to some stuff. Eventually, enough people turned their gaze to Bill Mocker, who was the one who originally lied, and he says, "Look, let me remind you of how this all started. We Dragonborn said, 'Momoa, give us power, we will give you service and fealty.' And in return, Momoa said, 'Cool, I will give you the deep magic.' And the deep magic is what allows us to harness the power of the world crystal and protect our city, power our ships, and give us the strength necessary to see the world as we wish to see it. Well, friends, we've relied on him for so long that just in case something happened, we'd been toying with the idea, theoretically, mind you, of replicating that technology ourselves. And with this last shipment of elementals, we are ready to begin doing so." The silence in the chamber is deafening for about 5 full seconds, Because what he just said is tantamount to the Pope going, you know, we really don't need all these paintings and statues anymore. We just don't. So it's a little chaotic there. Everybody starts freaking out.
What do you mean we're gonna not need? What do you mean we're not gonna need him anymore? Son,
Well,
I do believe that you are just going far off the rails for this kind of thing.
Teddy, great as your service has been to this city, it's mostly been martial things. It's just
How dare you? My men and I have sacrificed blood, sweat, and tears for this goddamn city, and we will not be insinuated as doing lesser so. If you want to start some shit, sir, my big stick is right outside, and I'll be glad to meet it with your face.
Sandler looks at you and he goes, well, I don't know about all that.
He doesn't come here to insult me and my men. My men and I do a fine job defending this city, as well as making sure that any threats that quarrel against us are dealt with swiftly and effectively. I need not remind all of you that we have not had a death in the last 5 campaigns going out of the city. Or do I need to remind you all how just well trained and trusted I put my faith in my men to do the jobs that we give them?
Teddy, no deaths? You haven't killed anybody? Oof.
You know damn well what I mean. I don't need your snarky quips, boy.
At this point, Shoreward Stern says, now hold on a minute. All he said was that you mostly deal with martial stuff. He deals with the magic and with the divine. All he's saying is that just in case anything goes wrong, we're ready.
Have you guys ever heard of self-fulfilling prophecies? That's what it's starting to sound like to me.
I don't have a problem with self-fulfilling prophecies if we're prophesying good things. Do you have a problem with that? Because that seems counterproductive.
And are we sure this has worked? Have we done a smaller testing of any kind of scale? Mind you, I'm not one to just go and say, hey, let's just do this. I at least think of a plan and at least do small scale, or at least have experience to back up my experiences of going forward with a plan.
The
Dalrak, your
Forge,
cam looks to be frozen.
the Forge is ready. We have run small scale tests on it. We can replicate the spell that Momoa uses to protect the city and power us perfectly. Essentially, all we're doing is advancing technology to the point that magic doesn't have to cover for us anymore. That is all we're doing. At which point, the infamous BIG that everyone from New York knows stands for Boats is Good, stands up and says, Boats is good! To which 3-Pack Shaker says, yeah.
I second that.
Bender
my
still
character,
looks up and he says,
Yeah.
you guys, we don't have to fight about this. This is going to be fine. You guys won't even notice. The transition will be smooth and seamless, and then we won't be holden to somebody who could potentially turn on us and end this piece if he gets in another fight with Stromboli, who, if you're not familiar with the world of Dogpen D&D, is another major god in the Pantheon.
my character will raise his hand and say, "Listen, everyone. I think there's some misunderstanding here. I mean, I've been experimenting in the arcane fields for many years now, and you know, I think maybe we could come to some sort of compromise here. At least, can you explain to us how this technology would work? I mean,
Not
the
without
world of
giving a lot of
science
secrets
requires
that we don't have to
experimentation.
give.
I think it would alleviate everybody's worries if we had some sort of explanation about what is your alternative here.
Mind you, son, it would probably be
anyone's
best to give us a
worried.
little bit more detail, so that way at least we can have some form of repercussions in place if in case things go sour.
Things won't go sour. Everything is fine. Like I said, the tests have all gone smoothly. We are good to go. Allow me to explain you. The machine, without getting into too many details, essentially allows us to amplify a normal spell. You're familiar with the categorizations of spells. This would be a double digit spell of some sort. We're not quite sure. But essentially, using several very powerful artifacts and ingredients that are easily found, if not easily obtainable. We leave that kind of stuff up to you, Teddy. We can create our own power source that technically is more trustworthy than a fickle god. So, that is what we're going to do. As of this afternoon, Momoa will be, well, not necessary. It's still regarded as such, but obsolete. And he sits down and he just looks super pleased with himself. Whereas the melodic faction is starting to look super panicky. And Lady Germanata says, rah, 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 rah. No. That is a bad way to end this romance we've had. That is very bad. And everyone can tell that she's not lying, but it is kind of hard to read her poker face.
Hmm.
Oh my
True.
god.
And there it goes. It clicked on you too.
I don't
I got it from the
like
rah
this.
rah rah.
I got both like almost immediately, and I don't like it.
That's fair. From the gallery, Macaulay Hulkin, the kind of the laborers guild leader who kind of hangs out around here to make sure that nothing's going on that's going to screw over the common man. He shouts down to Teddy. He goes, "There's bad stuff going on in the city. There's bad stuff. There's all sorts of uncouth people running about, and there's muckery in the mud. Not good. You need to take care of it before we do something stupid like blaspheme."
And
To
pray
which,
tell, what do you mean? Because you're giving me a lot of broad definitions. Are you talking about the rumors of cults in the city, or are you talking about the sea creatures being a bit more active as of late around the city and the ocean?
creatures, they're not my concern. I build on the land. But yeah, lots of weirdos and hoods. At which point, again, infamous Big says, "Boats is good." 3-pack shaker says, "Yeah."
Great
But at that point,
concept.
Dav Harbor, the harbor master, says, "I've seen both of those happening, and yeah, the world is a little screwed. Maybe this isn't the best time to do it. Besides, has anybody talked to Momoa about this?" And the entire Silver faction is just like, why would we talk to him? It's easiest to just have a clean break. We just break it off with him,
I,
we're good.
I don't think that's very wise to do, considering he did give us, the city of which we rule and on which the ground we stand on.
Yeah, I don't think gods like to become obsolete very often.
Which point, surprising everyone in the entire room, Boba Streisand, who everybody thought left, leaps into the center of the table and he channels a voice that anybody religious enough would recognize as the voice of Momoa. And Momoa says, "Do you truly mean to break the ancient pact?" And everybody's kind of gobstruck. They're like, is that Momoa? Is he talking to us through Boba Streisand? Do any of the players want to respond? Because if you don't, Bill will.
Ron will say, see, we didn't have to call him, he called us.
I did not believe in cutting the ties so easily.
Yes.
But then the entire Silver faction stands up and says, "We were going to send you a nice letter, but yes, the ties will be broken this afternoon. Thank you for everything you've done. It's been swell. It's not us, it's you." And Boba Streisand says, and disappears. At which point, the entirety of the Silver faction gets up and sprints out of the room, yelling for the Regent Philbin. So let's see, they're gone, and he's gone as well. Meanwhile, the Silver faction, wait, did I say Silver or Melodic? The Melodic faction sprints for Regent Philbin. The Silver faction begins to gather their things and starts to leave. And Dav Harbor Id clicks his hand on the table in the secret sign of emergency meeting of the Harbor faction, all of which you guys are part of, and know that that means that in the back room, you guys have got to go have a meeting about what the heck is going on. So with that,
As we're
I
going
bring
into
you
the other
to-
room, Teddy's gonna look back at the silver faction and go, "You boys don't wander too far off now. I might have some words for you here shortly."
as they're leaving, Bill just says, "It's fine. It's fine. The Abeyance Forge is here. It's in the basement.
That's
need
not what
us,
I'm talking about.
we'll
You
be here."
stay near the chambers, and I'll be with you shortly.
Yeah. And everybody leaves and continues on. So when you get to the room back here, Dav just sits down and goes, I had no clue.
What the fuck did
I
I
have
miss
no
when
clue.
I was out of town?
Yeah,
I
I
mean-
think a lot of us didn't have a clue that that shit was about to go down.
Yeah, I've been here in the city, but I had no knowledge of this. I've been teaching my classes and whatnot, working at the university, helping people. I didn't know of any of this planning. I apologize for not paying attention.
From the
Now, if you
sound
guys-
of
I mean,
it,
we've all been fairly busy. I've been investigating the whatchamacallit, the rumors of the cults that I mentioned earlier.
from the sound of it, no one outside of the Silver faction knew what was going on.
Now,
I
if
wish
you
they
guys want to
consulted
know
us.
anything more, I'm going to give you guys the opportunity to tell me what you're rolling and why that would make sense for your character in the city. And if you roll well and I like your pitch, I'll give you more information.
I want to talk about the ocean and like what's going on there because I feel like as a former pirate and someone who's just out on sea, he would
Mhm.
have some kind of connection to knowing what's going on with the waters.
Okay, what do you want to roll?
Let
And
me
why that
see.
one?
Okay, let me see. So I want to know about like the waters. I think either maybe survival or
You know,
or
good nature.
insight. I think maybe survival.
We'll go with survival because that has to do with tracking and stuff like that. So go ahead and give me a survival roll. Make sure you're not rolling at to the GM. And for those of you watching, I have disabled the toggle for advantage because we are rolling with a miracles and catastrophe system. So in the chat there, can they see the chat? I haven't checked the stream.
Yes.
Okay, so in the chat there, you can see that there's 2 dice rolling. Unless I specify that they are at advantage or disadvantage, we take the first roll. If it comes across as the same, either in green or red, that means that they scored a critical on both rolls, or a critical success or a critical failure on both rolls, and that is when something kind of off the books is going to happen.
We
So
just
with
got
a
rid
10
of the
of
chat, by the
survival,
way.
you think it's the time of year. You think it's the time of year.
John, the player
Ocean's
chat was
always
there, but now it's gone. So
What happened?
as soon as you asked,
there it
can you
is.
see the chat? It was there, and okay, now it's back.
It's back now.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. I didn't
Maybe
do
you,
that.
like,
I don't
tabbed
have
out
the
or
power to
something?
do that, but I do find it funny.
So Ron will say, yeah, I mean this time of year the waters do get rough, but I don't know. I think something's just stirring about. Seasons change and stuff. Maybe not too much to worry about.
Anybody else
Yeah.
want to roll something?
I was
Yeah.
gonna roll investigation to talk about the cult instances, the cult rumors.
Okie dokie, go ahead and give me a
Because
cult roll.
I did say that he was at least looking into those more prolifically, more in depth.
Yep.
Cults. I'm glad we have no experience with cults whatsoever.
17. Yeah, no, actually, as the primary police / general / admiral of the city, Teddy's actually had several instances of cults, and currently his leads are probably indicating that there are at least 2, and they're both interested in contacting powers from other planes of existence.
Now, see, my time here has been mostly hunting down these afflictions of occults that we've been dealing with. And I will say that we are dealing with at least 2 factions. We've had multiple uniforms in similar attire that lead to at least 2 I've mentioned at least two now. I think at least 4 times. I'm pretty sure at least two. But both are absolutely wanting to contact forces from other dimensions or other realms. To what extent, we do not know. I am assuming malicious because, again, they're doing this in dark, shadowy alleyways and doing it kind of not out in the open. So I can only assume it's bad for our city.
So with these, how many? What did you say? 3 cults that you mentioned?
At least two, son. At least two.
Oh, okay. 4 cults. Should we split up and take them out one by one? Just have it
I
done
heard
with.
there might be 5.
Even better.
We're just
I know
going to keep
getting-
increasing the
As
number
we're
at
in
this
here, the
point.
number of cults keep going up. I don't know what's going on.
We should just. Why don't we just go out there, take
Can
care
I,
of
can
them,
I
and
make a roll?
don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, what would you like to roll?
So I'm interested in rolling history about my knowledge of the Silver Faction and
Okay.
anything I know about them. I have a very good history, so I would hope that.
Yeah,
Nice.
let's
Well-
see what you do.
While you're rolling that, I'm gonna read this out. We have a $10 donation from Jareth with no comment. So thank you, Jareth, for the $10 donation, as well as Metadog wanted to let chat know that there has been 3 viewer rewards that's been enabled for the D&D. There is the Inspire 1 player, Uninspire 1 enemy, and the reroll on that one has all been enabled to viewers.
And I'm not saying that re-roll in that one could save somebody's life, but it could save an entire borough of the city. With a 34 in history, you know that 2 things
God.
specifically are true, and dang nice roll. Keep in mind they are level ridiculous.
Yeah, I got
let's see.
plus. I have a plus 16 to my history. So
Your history.
So with the 34 in history, you know one very strong and persistent rumor, although nothing has ever been solved, and that is that Bill Mocker is just an out and out atheist. And in the D&D world where the gods are clearly real, atheism isn't I don't believe in gods, it's I don't believe gods should be in charge, usually meaning themselves. Bill Mocker is not just an atheist, but he has actively pursued several projects that sound on smaller scale like this one, where you just replace the need for your nation's patron saint, basically. So this is totally on brand for him. The fact that you know with this history is that the amount of exotic arcane goods coming into the city, both expendable, like you use them in a spell, and like the focus that are permanently reusable, those have been going up for a while. You've been monitoring it, and if that's what they're working on, that explains all of the excess and is kind of scary, because with half of the Deep Admiralty board involved with this project, they could actually do it.
well, I'll express this to the group and tell you guys. Well, I'm very suspicious of Councilman Mocker and his faction here, because he's had a long history of not being a friend to the god. He wants to destroy them. I mean, I also
Not
am
a friend of
man
the God.
fighting-
My God, son, you're giving me some new enlightening mood, considering he just stole or cut ties really quickly with our God without consulting the rest of us in the council.
I think
Well,
At that point, Harbor, as you all call him, because he's the harbor master, he does kind of poke his head up out of his hands and he goes, technically he hasn't done it yet. We have till this afternoon if we want to pull something.
Oh, also out of character.
Mhm.
Meta says, if you want to inspire the players, we have 1 per viewer, 10-minute cooldown, no limit on the whole stream. So obviously don't donate and inspire us 20 times in a row, but we want to put some sort of limit.
Nice.
But
Now,
yes,
at this point, the first of the tremors begin. It feels, if you've ever experienced an aftershock from an earthquake, and I'm in California, so that happens. At first, it feels like you're on the top bed of a bunk bed, and the person below you is just kind of moving around and fidgeting. But it doesn't go away, and then you realize you're not on top of a bunk bed, and you're kind of like, did the entire ground just shake? And at that point, the alarm goes off. We're going to pop over here real quick. Welcome to the boroughs of New York City. New York City
Yay.
is divided into 5 boroughs, the main important one being Dude Cap Brown, right here.
Dude, Cat Brown.
Yes.
Also very, very populous and mostly full of bronze dragonborn, not surprisingly, is the Bronze. The bulk majority of the city is made up of the borough Maharanis and the borough of Creekland.
Mm.
Everybody kind of forgets about it, but technically there's a whole 5th borough, which is Territorian Island. Several different places around here. You guys are currently, if we can get a zoom in right here,
I
over
rep
here where I'm
Creekland,
pinging.
by the way. But
We're in the Imperial Province Spire, which, chat, if you're seeing the puns in the character names and in the places on the map that coincide with something that tickles your fancy, please let us know, because there's a lot of them, like I said. So you guys are all the way here in the Imperial Province Spire. The alarm is going off in New York Harbor, which is on the Hot Sun Bay, technically in the Did You Make a Bay? Where, of course, everybody knows the famous amusement park Round Pyramid Island is. The alarm is blasting, and as you guys are leaving the spire, the 3 generals, where are their tokens? Here they are. Let me copy and paste them over. As you guys are standing up and being like, oh shit, the alarm, technically that's us. So as you guys are leaving, the city's champions, Iron Mike, Stallone, and Den Iro come in, and they're like, hey, do you guys see any alarms? We got a bunch of alarms. We got stuff to go. Well, they're
Hey.
kind of coming in from all over the city. There we go. There they post. This is Den Iro, Iron Mike, and Stallone. They come into the room as you guys are leaving, and they're like, hey, we got alarms all over the place. We're going to go check them out. The big one's coming from the harbor, so you guys check that out. Iron Mike's going to go to the Bronze. Stallone's going to go to Territorian Island because he drew the short straw.
No,
And De Niro's going to head into Creekland. So currently, about a third of the city's forces are spread out in these places on the map. Now, you guys are super powerful, and you can run really fast, and you know the city like the back of your hand. So you guys end up arriving at the harbor on Hot Sun Bay pretty quickly. And it is absolute bedlam. You guys are in the bottom right hand of the screen.
Ah, I see.
Give me nature rolls as you look around at the scene of chaos unfolding before you.
Nature roll, my strongest stat.
Why are you guys all rolling at advantage? Did I do something wrong?
Yeah, you probably changed your sheet so that it's not always rolling at
Oh, okay.
advantage,
I'll just toggle
because
that
it's
on.
supposed to be well, here, let me go into your sheet actually, because it's pretty easy to just click.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I did click something. Okay.
You
Nature?
play Neil. Yeah, well, so normally in a normal campaign you set it to the toggle, the advantage toggle, but if we have it
Always on advantage.
always roll advantage, that goes away. Next time you roll, it should be at advantage for the miracle catastrophe system. Neil, as the resident expert on flora, fauna, science, and arcane things, you recognize these as what was their names? Let me pull them up. It's a very simple name. I'm going to hate myself for forgetting it.
Or pizza
Deep
wrap.
drakes. Deep drakes. Basically, underwater dragons that are not sentient or sapient. These ones look nasty and angry. It's a good guess that whatever that tremor was happened deeper underwater and disturbed them, and now they're coming up. But also, you guys know that the ward powered by Momoa around the city normally keeps creatures like this out of the harbor zone. And as we start, I need y'all to roll initiative, because there are many, many people fleeing the scene in horror,
I
as they were not
can't
expecting
click
this.
my
Can't touch
token.
my
We
token.
can't click these tokens, I don't think.
All
Delete
right,
them and let us drag ours on, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, drag
That'd
your
be
own out.
easy.
Can you move
Yeah,
them
I got
now?
mine.
Yeah.
Perfect. I will go around and delete them at the beginning of
For
each
those of
one.
you who know
Here we go.
nothing about D&D, we're about to fight. You roll
This is
initiative.
where the fun starts, and
Yeah.
believe it or not, that was about all the expose I have about the city and stuff like that. So if you have more questions, give a donation so that Matt has to read your question out loud,
Were there any
because I'm not
goals
checking the
for
chat.
this stream?
I believe that you can purchase names, and we're going to have a surprise for tomorrow. I believe Meta's working on it for a goal in the chat
mean,
that should
yeah, I
be
mean,
a
like-
bidding war, I believe.
Yeah, like if we raise a certain amount of money or
Yes, there will be something like that for sure. That is the Deep Drake.
I don't know. Do we want to add another reward where if someone pays $100,
You get to insta kill the DM.
they turn
For
any one of our
$100, I'll
rolls
do
to
it.
a nat 1?
turn
Ooh.
our goal.
I feel like for a $100, it should be a miracle or a catastrophe, their choice.
Oh, I'll happily do that.
Also,
Everything absolutely real quick, and everything is off center because of me. I will take credit for that. So, Matt, this is not Matt's fault. We do have the $20 reward that lets names. I don't know how you set it up. You set it with a text box in Tiltify, but a lot of them, I've seen at least one or two of them redeemed. I don't know how to get at those though, Matt. So I'll leave that.
Have they been redeemed today? I saw one today.
I think there was one yesterday.
Is that right?
There was quite a few yesterday. I already sent them off to John.
Okay, I don't think I saw any today, but I also, whenever I try and click into the Tiltify section for that, it breaks on me, so I can't see what anybody redeemed. However, in terms of what you want to do with like donation incentives for affecting this campaign, Matt and John, if both of you agree on something, you have full license to do whatever you want. As long as John agrees that it's okay in his campaign and Matt, you agree it's feasible in Tiltify, go buck wild and good luck. I'll get out now and fix your scene.
at that point, Matt, just make a whatever you feel like the price for a miracle or a catastrophe is priced at.
How the hell
Put
do you
that
spell
in,
catastrophe?
and they can set whatever roll they want at whatever point in time they want for that. Okay.
Turn any roll into a
At the start of combat, my character was like,
Did the
everyone,
chat
you
get a
can
chance
break.
to look at the whole map?
I can zoom
You
out
zoomed out a
again.
little at the end.
Well, it's just this is a large map. They're seeing about a quarter of it right now. It's full of all sorts of mean beasties.
So all the big ones are the mean beasts. The small ones are people
They're blue.
defending,
Yeah,
right?
so the lighter blue dragon-looking ones are the various specimens of Deep Drake. Not all of which are familiar to you guys. And then the smaller circles in blue are just citizens who got caught up in whatever is going on.
Ron will say, "See, I told you. This happens all the time at this season." Obviously, not knowing anything about it.
And with that, we start with Stand in the Lee. Stand in the Lee. What would you like to do for your turn?
First, I'm gonna zoom back in
Sit down.
Yep.
because it's just my player view that they're seeing. So
Oh, okay. I thought you might have a separate like viewing bot set up or something.
no, it's would have taken me a little bit longer, and I don't have a second Roll20 account to do that.
No worries.
And I'm also in the middle of setting things up, so bear with me. Okay, I'm going to move all the way up here.
Alrighty. As a monk, Stand in the Lee gets a ridiculous amount of movement,
Hell yeah.
especially at level 20. All right, so as you approach it, let's see, what did you roll for nature?
10.
You rolled a 10. As you approach it, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw as you get a bad feeling about it. And sure enough, you don't lock eyes with it. because something bad happens if you lock eyes with it. And now you know that, and you can avert your gaze. Continue.
And I will go to punch it.
And punch it, you do. All of those hit. You do not have flanking on it, so the 30 and the 24 hit. That is not a critical, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And so does the 26. Is that a flurry of blows?
No.
No, I think he hit 3 unarmed strikes on level 20 of the monk.
Yeah, they all hit, and you do 29 damage to the mean wee beastie. When you hit it, it gives off a startled cry, like it didn't notice the man blurring into its side and punching it. And you hit it for a total of 43 damage.
Okay, so I just added the miracle or catastrophe for $100. And for some reason, if that becomes a thing, there's only 10 of them that could be redeemed.
That's probably a good thing, but I am prepared for if you guys really, really want to. So we can
And then-
revisit that if we max out.
And in the description, it says any roll. So,
Yeah, including ones you guys don't see that I make on my end here, which you might hear some of the more important ones. Crap, where did I put my
hey,
dice?
thank you, Crazy Awesome, for the raid.
Well, if I need it, I'll find my dice wherever it is. So you run up and you strike it several times, not stunning the actual ability, but you do scare the living crap out of it. And it stops paying attention to the man near it. Anything else from you?
Boo.
Okie dokie. At that point, it is the Coral Drake's and Deep Drake's turn. The Coral Drake is the colloquial term for the ones that can fly. So you'll notice about half of them have wings. They all approach. They start making a series of attacks on these poor people. Keep in mind, your actions could save their lives, but this is also 2,000 years in the past, so there's a very good chance they're all dead, even if you save them today.
A good chance.
Wow,
that
that's
being-
just
that being
grim.
said- That being said, you guys are in charge of protecting this city, so
Of course.
Like we're
you know.
living in the moment, not we're living as this isn't the freaking what is it? The Animus from Assassin's Creed, okay?
No, and at this point, the only one that's actually going to attack any of you is the one next to Stand in the Lee is going to turn, and he is going to hork up a bunch of acid towards you. I need a Constitution saving throw from you, Stand in the Lee.
Yikes.
As he coughs up 34 acid, unless you make this save, in which case you take half damage. Although you're a monk, do you have evasion?
Yes, he definitely has evasion at level 20.
Yes.
No, you don't get that till 21.
Ooh, that is a critical fail, though.
Yep.
So
Oh, no.
you will take the full damage. You take 34 acid damage as it sprays on you and the guy behind you, and that damage is not healable until you take a long rest. So your maximum HP is going to drop. However, that is the only attack that happens to you guys. As the rest of you guys are kind of taking in the scene, you hear lots of people yelling in pain as the drakes go after them. At that point, it is Teddy Moosevelt's turn. What would you like to do, sir?
Teddy, ride us into battle. Deeply studying the.
Yeah, like, sorry, I'm trying to read the sheet here a little bit, just trying to figure out what exactly I want to do with it.
Keep in mind, folks, that Teddy Moosevelt is, in fact, the general, admiral, and former police captain.
You shut
of-
your mouth. They haven't been called upon yet. They will be called upon in due time, God.
No. I'm simply giving exposé to
Do
cover
not
for
give
your
spoilers,
tactical
or I will
pondering.
come over there.
No
Spoilers.
spoilers. I'm simply monologuing.
God,
Meta,
You're
you
doing
already knew
this.
about that one.
I want
Monologuing
you
is
to
actually
do
a sport that the New
this.
Yorkers invented, where you get on one log and you float. Monologuing. You're welcome.
Hey, I'm monologuing here.
That's a real thing we
I am
actually do in New York
monologuing
City.
here.
Hey.
We do that all the time.
Monologue in here.
It's how we got
Okay,
to Staten
I
Island before the
didn't see anything
bridge.
in the chat. What are you doing?
All right, I'm going to move forward. Gonna move to 50 or the 45 here. Because I'm assuming I can't get around this person on the bridge down here to the south, right?
Well, you know that you technically could shove him off into the water, but
It's just me.
these things are water drakes, and this is a normal human. You're in a part of the city where typically foreigners and immigrants work the laboring jobs. You're in that part of the harbor.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of Dragonborn. There's a couple on the map, but there's not a lot of Dragonborn here. And they can all swim because they grew up in New York, and you know that. But you don't know where this guy's from. Probably not a good idea to shove him in there. If you have enough movement to jump to the other side as difficult terrain, I'll allow it.
No, I'm just. I mean, I would assume it would cost me the rest of my movement because I'm basically sprinting at this point because base speed is 30.
Every square on the map here is a 5-foot square.
Yeah,
So
I have basically another 15 feet. Can I basically use all that to get him essentially behind me? So that way
make an athletics check as you yank him behind you.
Okay.
And if you do good enough, it won't get an attack
Get
of
behind
opportunity.
me, son. I got
It
this.
does not. You yank that poor fellow as he's clutching at his chest where that Drake just gave him a nice rake across the chest, and he's bleeding. And he's also, as you yank him behind you, he's kind of like, am I being saved by Teddy Moosevelt?
Don't worry, son. Teddy's got this with his big old stick.
Over. There we go.
I just imagine that like Teddy just grabbed him by like the back of his shirt and just was like, "Oh, all right, you stay that. I got this."
Yep, basically. Do you have anything left that you could do on your turn?
Nope, because I don't have it. I can't attack because I did sprinting action.
Okay. Oh, whoops! I skipped too far. Let's get and see what Neil DeKelp Tyson is doing. Neil, what would you like to do?
I'll turn to my friend Ron the Pearl Man and say, the many mysteries of the universe are still to be revealed, and us standing back here, we're never going to find them. So I twin cast haste on me and you.
Nice.
Okay, so I'll link that in the chat real quick.
I never know what the hell you're talking about, Neil, but thanks.
Well, this magic that I've learned will make us go very fast. And on that note, I will also use my draconic abilities, and I will sprout wings. As you guys see, 2 large wings sprout out of my back, and I go flying off. I'm like, Ron, try to keep up. And I fly off.
You know I can.
Okay, so that's my action, bonus action. My flying speed is the same as my walking speed, which is 30 feet. So I will just fly 30 feet in this direction. But I am now in the air somewhere over here.
Okay.
And I
Do you have any other actions you can take? Or
I use my action, my bonus action. I know, my bonus action was the Dragon Wing, so I don't think I can use the haste bonus action.
But you get more movement speed, don't you? Because you're hasted.
Let me read haste. I'm sorry. I cast spells. I don't know. Should read them.
Yeah. So your speed is doubled.
Oh, gain an additional action.
It doesn't specify that it's just walking. It says walking and flying, so you can fly farther.
Okay,
so you can get pretty close to that.
Another 30 feet. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to ascend at all? Because you can see that like some of them, like these 2 over here, they don't have wings for flying. Some of them do, like that one right there. That one does, but that one that you're getting close to, if you fly that direction, cannot.
Yes. So I would like to use some of my movement to fly up. So
that's totally
I guess with haste, I should have 60 feet of movement. Mm-hmm. So I'll use 30 of it to go forwards and 30 to go up.
Just move about 50 feet, and we'll call you about 20 feet up in the air as you know.
Okay, so
angles.
20 feet. I should be right here, flying over this water. Okay.
And with that, everybody has left Ron the Pearl Man in the dust. Ron, what would you like to do?
Hey, what are you guys doing? Don't leave me behind. I'm gonna fly with my wings. I have 40.
That is a notable fact. There are a couple of notable facts, actually, that I forgot to mention. Ron has wings. Not all Dragonborns have wings, and if you pay attention to the Dog Pound D&D, Dragonborn do not have wings anymore. This is a trait that has kind of gone extinct, as well as Teddy being an older version of a Dragonborn or an older race of Dragonborn with larger singular horns on their front of their forehead as opposed to the rear ones facing backwards. Just makes him a little stronger. Explains why he's a paladin.
Should we use the little boot icon for haste?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we should. Because
I-
you
I
are
put
hasted, so
them on.
you technically can keep up about now.
Mhm.
Where's the boot icon?
I
There it is.
put the boot on.
Yep. You put it on you. I'm putting it on Ron as
Oh,
well.
okay. Go
Oh,
ahead.
and I'm gonna fly too, so we should put the wings on me.
Yep. You just
flying
have
speed?
a flying speed.
That's true.
His wings are temporary. Your wings are not.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to 80 feet of movement doubled with haste, so I'm going to fly. I think in between these two guys. Yeah.
Yep, you can just fly right over this building right here and land
Mhm.
on the other side. And with haste, I think that gives you a total of 5 attacks.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. So I'm gonna get right here. I'm gonna be a little bit in the air. I move 65 feet. How tall are these things? I don't want to get too high above them, but I want to be like up.
If just kind of standing around with their necks up, they're about 10 feet tall. They're not super large. They're not actual full size dragons
Mhm.
and whatnot, but they're significantly larger than like say a camel.
Okay, so I'll fly over there and I'll land because we're pretty tall, right? We're Dragonborn. We're pretty big, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll land, and I will just slash back and forth between these two guys. I will. Let's see. I have 5 attacks, so I'll start with the guy on the top. I'll just go back
Okay.
and forth each time.
Go for it.
So, all right, I'll take out my katana. Ooh.
Oh! A caticle.
Wow.
Armor astrophy.
What the hell? Wow.
So here's how we're gonna play
Whoa.
this one for the first one. Thank you for not rolling the rest of them. You're gonna go ahead and just single slice samurai style kill this one as you open its chest cavity up and it just
Shit.
dies. However, you go to attack the other one and you
Mhm.
realize you left your sword in there. Been a
Wow.
hot minute since you actually had to swing your sword in combat, so it'll
Mhm.
cost you your normal action to fish it out of there if you would
Mhm.
like, or you can just punch the shit out of this thing. But
So my whole action. So I won't be able to attack again.
yeah, because that was your haste attack right
Yeah, so
there.
if-
We'll call that your haste attack, and so it'll be an action. Or I'll tell you what, give me a sleight of hand check as you reach in there for it, and if you score well enough,
Mhm.
then you can have it as a bonus action, and you can attack more.
I don't want to do that. I'll do
Okay.
that. Turn around to the other guy, not realize my katana is in my hand, and I'll just breath attack him.
That'll work.
28.
Betting he's not going to make that deck save personally.
Mhm.
Unless he critically succeeds. He dodges nimbly out of the
Oh
way
my
and jumps
God.
into the water as your fire breath shoots out all over the place, and he's just kind of like
God damn it. That's 1 attack, right? Technically. So
technically.
I have what? 3 more?
Mhm.
I'm gonna. I do have more movement, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna
Yeah, you still have like 20 feet of movement left.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump at him in the water. I'm not even gonna go for my katana yet. I'm just gonna jump at him.
Okay.
So
I don't think I
think
built an
I'm-
unarmed attack because I didn't think this would happen in the first turn.
Well, unarmed attacks are automatically built in. I think it's 1d4 plus your strength. Or no, I think it's just 1 plus your strength unless you're a monk.
It's 1 plus your strength unless you're monk, unless DM rules otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that as a level 20 fighter, he has in fact had to punch people before.
Mhm.
And we'll call it an athletics to hit. And then for damage, we can do a D4 plus strength.
A D4 plus strength. Okay, so
A 14 misses.
get back here. What are you doing? Let me hit
Don't worry,
you.
you still have 2 more. That
I know.
hits.
D4?
Mhm.
We said? What did we say? D4 plus what?
D4 plus strength. So just roll a D4 and I'll add your strength bonus is 6.
10.
So max damage. You do 10 damage with the first hit on this guy.
All right. And I'll get him. I'll get at him again. Ah, come on, give me my sheet. Oh, strength. I can't. Why did I lose it? Athletics. There we go. 28.
Yeah, a 28 hits. Go ahead and roll a d4 again. Damn. All right.
Wow.
2 max damage punches to this guy's snout after missing him, and at that point you do realize your katana is gone.
You can't get away from me that easily. Shit, with my sword.
Okay. Anything
And
else?
Let's see. Can I do anything with my bonus action? Bonus actions. Can I go back for my sword? Can I turn around and I guess start
Give
trying to
me a
pull it out?
give me a sleight of hand check, and if you do well enough, I'll say you have it back. If you don't, then it'll be another bonus action to finish pulling it out.
Cool. 26.
26 is good enough. You pull it out.
Nice. And that'll be it.
Okie dokie. It is now the terrified populaces, some of whom are standing and fighting back, others of whom are simply running as fast as they can possibly go. Which, because they're scared and terrified, not super fast, but they're all taking the dash action. That guy's going to jump the docks there. This guy, you don't recognize exactly what race he is, but he's definitely some sort of aquatic person. So he actually does jump in the water and start swimming away. That guy's going to fight. These two are going to run away off screen to the north. And that guy is just screwed no matter what happens. So he is going to take the dodge action. With that, I need perception checks from, let's see, Neil and Ron, as you guys would be the only ones who would possibly be able to figure out what's going on so far.
Yeah, I'm sort of like up in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Did this guy not run away? Behind Ron?
Did I miss him? Yes, him and Captain Skipper up here. They both ran and they
Oh, wait.
started attacking him. Let me roll for them real quick.
Did you say perception from me too?
Yes, because you guys are the only ones close enough to the ocean to see what's going on.
Oh, a 1. God damn it.
Neil, you're like, is this it? Is this all the ocean can throw at us? And then you're like,
just had
oh
to
no,
say it.
oh, holy crap, no, there's something big out there. What on earth could possibly be doing this? And you start thinking about it and you're like, the deep drakes don't usually come out of the water, even if the war did momentarily falter. There's got to be something out there scarier than deep drakes that's forcing them up here.
I'll
Ron-
yell out to the group.
Wait, can I yell it before you?
Sure.
Ron will yell out. There's only a few of them. We can handle this. No problem. We'll be back in dude. What's it called? Dude Cap Brown in no time.
Yep.
I think we're gonna have to stay here for a little bit longer, boys. I think there's something coming.
Huh?
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
And with that, it is Stan and Lee's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna bonus action.
As a long-standing practicer of martial arts and a focuser of chi, as a level 20 monk, Stan and the Lee knows an ancient technique known to the lung dragonborn, as he is, called golden gouges, where essentially his martial arts die for unarmed strikes goes from a D10 to a D20 for the next minute.
Oh,
So his hands are literally glowing, and his damage is potentially doubled.
Oh my lord.
As he lets off a string of strikes on this guy, both of which hit. And you punch this guy, and he falls into the lake right there, or the streamlet that runs into the river, and he has perished. And the two civilians standing right there are like, "Hey!" as they're very happy to see that happen. What else would you like to do? As from where you're standing, you can definitely see that this guy is going to die within a turn or two if nobody saves him. Ron is currently flicking blood off of his sword, and other people are just running away in terror. but that's about all you can see from there.
Okay. So I'm assuming I can't get past these people without.
You are a monk. You can run on surfaces and
Right.
liquids as long as they aren't
Mhm.
basically completely upside down or more than 90 degrees. So you can literally run all the way to that guy if that's what your movement speed is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Fucking
been a
run.
hot minute since I've played a monk higher level than 5.
That's fair.
I don't think I can run on it. I can't stand on it, right?
Mm-mm. I think you could just run across
Yeah,
it.
That'll
no,
be a little
you
difficult.
can run across it, but if you want to say that you just stop your turn because that's where your movement ends and you are still running, we'll just pick it up on your next turn as you're still running.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
Okay. It is now the Drake's turns. Let's get some rolls off of them as they continue hissing and clawing and biting and coughing up acid. And none of you guys have ever seen them cough up acid before. This is a very curious thing. And I will need a con save from Teddy Moosevelt and Ron the Pearl Man.
Damn. Wow, that was a bad roll.
It was a bad roll.
I have a
You
plus
take
11.
24. You take 24 acid damage, and 6
Oof.
of that is not healable until you long rest.
Oof. 20. How much did you damage? 24.
24 damage, and 25% of it is not healable until you long rest. Teddy,
Yep, I'm rolling now.
gotcha. There are a couple of shrieks in pain. This guy rounds the corner on that guy and attacks him. That guy attacks. That guy attacks. That guy is almost dead. Stand in the lead as you approach this guy. This guy goes down on one knee, barely alive. Teddy, you are fine. You take 12 acid and all of it's healable. But this Drake is not quite within range, and he's going to back up a little bit because he has no clue why there's someone willing to fight him right now. But after puking on you, he does nothing. And with that, it is your
Okay.
turn, Teddy.
Well, Teddy's gonna pull out his big stick, and he's
right.
gonna move
He
up
is
to him.
famous in New York for carrying his kanobo, which is a Japanese style club. And he has a saying about it, doesn't he?
You talk hushed and you carry the big stick.
Damn straight.
And
So he winds up and he lets loose, I assume.
Oh yeah, he's gonna take a swing.
A 31 hits.
Okay.
It will just be the first damage on that one because it wasn't a critical, but that's still a decent 24 damage as it takes 18 bludgeoning and 6 lightning damage to the face.
And then he's gonna swing again. This time he's giving it the backhanded swing.
A 30 hits,
All right.
and he does 22 total damage, and this thing looks stunned. It's not quite halfway done, but it's confused. Anything else?
Nope. Teddy's just gonna look up and go, "Come on, is that all you got?"
Okay, I would like to point out to you that you do have a feat that might be appropriate here. Not a feat, sorry, a fighting style.
Do I? Sorry, there's like so much on this sheet that I missed. I must have missed it.
I just put it in chat for you.
Oh yeah.
So basically, if he moves, you hit him.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that then.
Alrighty, so after you backhand him, you get ready to hit him again and just say like, come on, move, I dare you.
Yeah, that's it.
Neil, you're about 20 feet up in the air. You can see over all these houses. You're very concerned about what's coming up from the ocean, but you don't see anything yet. And with that nat 20, I will tell you the moment they show up.
Okay.
And
so
they won't
yeah,
get a surprise round on anybody.
Yeah. So as I keep an eye out, I see these dragons are hitting these people in front of me. Yeah. So I will fly in this direction.
Keep in mind,
Maybe-
as a flyer, you can go over this house and we'll just pretend like you're on the roof.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go over here because I want like an angle.
Mhm.
Oh no, am I gonna kill friendlies? But
If you do a cone
yeah, but
attack, then
I
that
have
would hit
careful
friendlies.
spell.
But if you do a line, or if you have the meta magic to make sure you don't hit these guys, then yeah. But these guys are tall enough that if you have like a line attack, you can hit them
Mhm.
without endangering friendlies.
Well, I don't believe I have line attacks, but I do have a cone, and I will look at the dragons and say, "You know what killed the dinosaurs? The Ice Age." And I will cast Cone of Cold, but I will meta magic it so it is careful. So my allies, all these people in the area, automatically succeed on any
Nice.
roll, and I will.
Careful
It's a
spell.
I will
60-foot
say that
cone.
since you're flying, you just won't hit them at all with
Yeah,
that
yeah,
because you're just going to aim the cone at an awkward angle, but you're going to hit everybody
yeah.
else,
It should hit all these guys, so they will have to make
including this guy over here,
Constitution. I'm sorry, which one?
the guy all the way to the left fighting the chick with the sword.
Yes, yeah, it's 60
Okay.
feet, so definitely can hit that guy.
Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, and let me roll my damage for
Only
that.
one of them rolled double digits. He is the only one who saved, unless your spell save DC is
My
higher than 22.
my spell save DC is 24.
Okay, so they all
So-
failed.
Wow.
Also, the Dragonborn that is currently getting mauled hears you say your iconic line from a series of lectures you gave, and gives off a very, very weak "Woo, Ice Age," and they all take
Oh God.
the damage. But at the same time, you hear somebody behind you. I'm not saying it's Teddy, but it probably was Teddy who goes, "Aren't they like immune to cold? They live underwater." And they all turn to look at you and go, "Ow." And they only take quarter damage from that.
I think I also do a little bit more because I have elemental affinity. So because I'm a white dragon or part white, I can use.
That's true. No, it's not that you're part white. It's that you're both white and black because you get you get your dragonborn ancestry, and then you also get your
Okay.
sorcery
That's
ancestry.
extra 7 damage.
I think we call
Okay.
that a mulatto dragon.
We call a
There's-
lot of things, but not all of them are polite.
Total of
stream.
42 if they failed, but apparently they had resistance.
Well, I mean, they live deep underwater, so
No, that makes sense.
they're called deep drakes. So 42, a quarter of 42 would be math. We'll round it up and call it 11.
Okay.
11
So,
for all
and
of
then-
them, and you have their attention now. However, you were smart and you hit ones that cannot fly. So if you want to leave his AOE, you can do so without taking attack of opportunity.
Yes, I will fly a little bit more backwards back to over this house over here.
Okay.
So I'm flying above this home over here, keeping an eye out. That's the end of my
Okey-dokey.
turn.
Ron, you have your sword back. You have haste. You also have a dragon that avoided one of your hits.
Yeah, I'm gonna absolutely try to kill that dragon.
Go for it.
That monster.
Swing away, Merle. 29 hits. 29 hits for 20 damage. You take off the top portion of his dorsal fin there on the top of his head.
Nice. I'm gonna hit him again. Oops, I hit the wrong thing.
To be honest, with a plus 15, it's very hard for you to miss.
Yeah.
27 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right,
For
17.
17 slashing damage. After the blood, like after you open a wound on his neck, there's just a single spark. And he flinches from that, but not the strike. That's 2 of 4.
Yep,
2 of
gonna hit him
5
again.
because you have haste.
Oh my god, all these nat 20s that aren't counting.
Roll the damage from. Oh, there we go. And another 20. This guy looks like he is about to fall over if you hit him again.
And I will.
Yes, you do. Go ahead and roll damage.
Another 17.
On a scale of like, I don't know, 1 to 94, he looks like about a 2.
Oh, he's still alive?
He's still alive, but you still have one more attack left.
Mm-hmm. All right. Die already! Oh my god, let's go.
You swing so hard, the air current cuts, and directly from you into this house and out the other side, hitting into that dragon, comes an air like arc, like you see in anime. And that dragon on the other side will take, what would that be, 18 plus 15, so that would be 30, 40. That dragon will take half, so he takes 22 damage, and of course the one directly in front of you perishes.
Nice.
It should be a minus 22 damage. All right, anything else for you? Do you want to move? You have
Yeah, I'll
plenty of
move.
movement speed.
Yeah, I got a ton. I will come over and help out. Trying to see where to go. There's like so much going on. So many people like.
But you
hit.
also get a feeling that if all of them hit and you do decent on damage, you can take care of one of these things per turn. So they're not that terrifying. It's more how many people do you need to save.
Mm-hmm.
And with a flight speed, you could absolutely make it over here.
Mm-hmm. Especially
To these guys
hasted.
and see that, because you've seen Stand in the Lee enough times in action to know that you're probably good to let him take care of that guy up north.
Mm-hmm.
Come help me. I'm an idiot.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna come to Neil.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna there we go. Come over there. Get right in between these guys.
Alrighty. Using your entrance as a hopeful diversion, let's see if this guy can sneak away. He can. The gentleman standing right there next to you takes off running, and he goes, "Go get him!" The other one is going to have to roll at disadvantage because there's two of them. An 18 and a nat 20. Yeah. That Dragonborn manages to sneak inside, and that you lose track of them, but they're safe. She's going to fight. He's going to fight. These two are going to disappear off into the inner city. These two are going to disappear off into the inner city. These guys are going to go help their buddy up here. And so is this guy. You're going to start throwing harpoons at that one. He's going to fight, and then this guy is not going to be able to do anything except take the dodge action if he's able to, which brings it to the ocean's turn. Nothing happens. Neil, you're convinced that whatever is out there, there's at least two of them.
Oh my
Stand
god.
in the Lee. Stand in the Lee. You are currently sprinting across the water. That man in front of you is almost dead. What would you like to do?
I'm going to finish sprinting across the water.
Okay. Your fists glowing golden, as well as your feet, because you can technically kick them. It just says unarmed strike. It doesn't say punch.
And I'm going to use my Ascended Breath, which says 2 targets on it. Up to 2 creatures. So
I think it's supposed to say up to 2 uses, but it is supposed to be like a spinning, you can hit anybody you want to sort of deal with it. You have been breathing fire and whatnot on things for quite a while. There is a crackle of radiant energy and a burst of flame from Stand in the Lee as he invokes the ancient Ascendant Breath on these guys who... One of them does make the save and is still standing, but barely, as he takes 44 of the damage. The other one cooks to a crisp and falls into the water.
okay, I'm going to...
That is technically just one attack, and you are a monk, so you have plenty of those.
Well, I'm going to unarmed strike the other one.
That hits.
So 23.
23 force damage. He looks shocked and rocked, and you think if you get just the right blow on him, you might be able to finish him off with one.
Well, I'm going to Flurry of Blows to be on the safe side.
Okay. 21 hits. For 23 force damage, you do, in fact, finish him off. And he flops to the ground as the chi you just stabbed him with kind of courses through his body and just kind of gently escorts his spirit to the afterlife wherever drakes go when they die. With that, it is their turn, and you have put enough blood in the air and enough fear in them that they're going to have to make a saving throw to see if they start retreating. They do not. They're angry because they're not quite sure what's going on, but they're more scared of whatever's coming than they are of you.
Bad choice.
Probably. But you're standing directly between a couple of them. So they're both going to try to bite at you.
By the way, I still had movement left.
I am so sorry. You totally did. What would you like to do?
I'm still trying to figure out what 70 divided by, or minus 15 is, which is 55?
Yes. Very
I
nice.
just zoomed out. There's another one all the way up. Wow.
There's one more up there, but these guys are
Good
coming
eye.
in to help. So,
Oh,
Pretty
nice.
plus you guys have killed about a third of them, if not half. So,
Okay.
Nice.
Move there, and that'll be my turn.
okie dokie. The Drakes are now going to attack Ron as he's standing directly between them, so they have advantage. Does a 25 hit?
You have +2 AC from haste.
Yeah, it just manages to hit.
With the +2?
Yeah, I have 23.
So they let off a total of 6 attacks at you, only 2 of which hit. You get bit for 16 piercing, 14 acid damage by one of them biting you. Then you get smacked on the backside of the head for 9 slashing and 9 cold damage as the other one gets you. And I need a Constitution saving throw as he tries to poison you.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's not letting me click.
Keep in mind, these are a very low CR creature comparatively, so the con save is not going to be super hard.
It's not letting me. I'm trying to like. Oh, there we go. What was the damage numbers again?
It was 16 piercing, 14 acid from being bit, and then it was 9 slashing and 9 cold from being whacked with a claw.
Oof. All right. And con save.
And a con save.
26.
You're fine. You've
Nice.
fought these things before. The acid's new, the poison not so much. You genuinely don't care. They go on attacking, but the only guy who is in danger of being dead in one blow survives, and that means Ron.
Oh, wait a second. Actually, I
Or
realized
not
I
Ron.
could do something. Wait, as a reaction, hold on. I just realized I knew I had something. Where is it? Let me click
You
it on here so I
probably
can
do
send
have
it.
something.
When you are wielding a finesse weapon, which you are proficient, and another creature hits you with a melee attack, your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your AC
Yes.
for that attack, and you potentially cause the attack to miss you.
So your proficiency bonus is 6 because we're level 20.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that makes at least one of those miss. And I'm assuming you want to do it for the more powerful one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do not take 16 piercing and 14 acid. It is only good for one single attack, so you only take the 9 slashing and 9 cold damage.
Perfect.
Which that could have been more helpful in the future, but that definitely saves your armor for this round.
Yeah.
Teddy,
Well, I
the
could do
guy
it.
in front of you is very confused as to why you're coming after him, and your bull moose energy is honestly frightening him a little bit. So he's going to take a nip and a claw, but they're both very half-hearted. Neither of them break double digits, and he's just kind of standing there looking perplexed. Let's see if he's smart enough to run away. He is not smart enough to run away, so that will end it for the Drake's turns. It is your turn. I'm assuming you want to hit this guy.
Defensive duelist, I could do anytime on a reaction, right? It's not like limited to once, whenever. It's like
You
just a
only get
reaction.
one reaction per not your turn.
Okay, yeah. But
Unless
I'll
you have
have
something
future reactions.
specific. Yeah, unless you have something specific like Teddy has, where if somebody moves and he's in the right stance, he can whack him.
Mm-hmm. Well, like next round, I'll get another one, right? Like you get reactions per round.
Yeah, as soon as your turn happens again, you get another reaction. You get
cool,
per turn,
perfect.
you get an action, a bonus action, and a reaction.
Teddy, kill that thing.
Alright. Teddy's gonna swing at it again. But he's gonna channel his divine smite into it, because why the hell not? Big cracker, let's go.
As he raises the canobo, however you pronounce it, the big stick. As he raises the big stick, the emblem on his chest glows, and anybody from New York would be able to recognize the symbol of his Oath of Glory order. Those who perform in the gladiatorial conquests of the arena, and of course in New York, if you're from Dude Cat Brown, you probably know his symbol to be that of the angry daughter cubed garden.
All right. So did that hit?
Yes, a 23 hits.
Okay.
And he is looking rattled as he takes 31 damage. You're guessing you could probably end him with this last blow.
Yep. Hit him again this time without the divine smite on him or on it.
22 hits. Go ahead and roll damage. 21. And yes, you do in fact manage to thwack him right between the eyes, and kind of cartoonishly, almost like he's doing the wave, the shock from it in his head ripples down his neck into his chest and his limbs, and he falls flat. You have movement left.
Okay.
And you
Yeah,
can
'cause I haven't
you
moved
can
at all.
see that one, and you can hear plenty more going on in this general area.
Yep. I'm gonna go keep following the streets, make sure civilians are okay.
All right, as you approach that direction, you only see him. There's
Okay.
nobody to your south or further over.
That's fine. Yeah, that's all my movement because I can only move 30. So
Perfect.
that's my turn.
Neil, give me a perception check again as you continue looking to see if you can spot them before they even get on the map.
I'm looking out into the sea.
With a 17, you're pretty sure that they're larger than these things, but you don't know what that necessarily means because there's a lot of things in the ocean that are larger than these things.
You guys, there's something big out there.
Two
Just don't
something
know how
bigs. You
big.
know for sure there's at least two. And then go
Okay.
ahead and take your turn.
Okay, in that case, I will be like, "Ugh, I guess the cold won't do it. I'll have to force you guys to leave, and I will use magic missiles, which does force them.
Nice.
And I will cast that at 4th level.
Oh, all right.
Let me just find that real quick. Wait, how do I up? No, not one.
Magic Missile doesn't actually have an upcast because it doesn't have a roll to hit. You just click it as many times as you should get for
Oh, really?
that
Okay.
spell. Yeah.
So if I'm casting it at 4th level,
You get 3 to
then-
start with and an extra dart for every spell, so that should be 6 missiles.
Okay.
Ooh.
And you're going for the one in the middle?
yeah, but if it dies, then I'll start sending them somewhere else.
That's fair.
1, 2.
Two, three,
This is,
four,
very
5,
late. I'm clicking.
and 6. So you hit him for a total of 4, 8, 11, 14, 16 damage. They all
Boom.
sink directly into him. He lets out a kind of a braying noise because he's not used to being hit so directly by these just little orbs of pure force. They drive the wind out of him, and they're starting to look like maybe they're more scared of you guys than they are of whatever's in the water. Anything else from you?
Yeah, I forgot to mention that was quicken spell. So
Oh, so you hit 2 of them?
No, it
Or
was just a bonus action. So now with my action, I can use a cantrip.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was going to cast Fire Bolt. That same thing.
Okay.
Let me roll for that. Ooh, off.
31 hits.
I would hope so. 22
Ooh,
Or
points of
22 points of fire, and you feel the urge to start lecturing, as you do so often, for the joy of the citizens, about how while they do live deep underwater, they're not immune or resistant to fire damage, as they genuinely never get a chance to experience extreme heat except for here on the surface. And so while they're not exactly vulnerable either, they hate it. and he takes
Yeah.
22 damage, and you cauterize the wounds that your magic missile just did.
Now, that's one way to cut a fish.
God.
And I will end my turn staying high in the sky in the same spot, looking out into the ocean.
Perfect. And as you do so, the scales begin to tip in your favor. Ron,
Which one did he attack?
he attacked this one. That one is looking very much worse for the wearer.
Okay, I'm going to hit it first with my Revengeance.
Okay.
Revenge.
Critical hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yep.
That's 19 plus 13, which is enough to finish him off. You cleanly cleave it just at where the neck meets the shoulder, and so that long neck of its and its head falls perfectly cut, perfect
Ooh.
samurai style. And that'll be your haste attack, so you still have your full action or 4 attacks
Yes.
to turn and vent on this other guy. And he did attack both of them, so there is a decent chance that you could end them without too much going wrong.
Nice. Ron will say, "Now that's how you cut a fish, Neil," and then he'll turn to the other guy.
I can't hear you because I'm talking and lecturing at this moment. So
That's how you cut a fish. Never mind. I'll go after the other guy.
20
Man,
hits.
all these 20s that aren't these nat 20s that aren't nat 20s. All right. 17 slashing, 4 lightning.
He takes 21 damage, and the ends of his little if you look at his art here real quick, all those like antenna fronds, they all leave a spark as you whack him.
Ooh.
But he
All
still
right.
stands.
I'll hit him again.
A 30 hits for 18 damage.
See.
Again, he's looking very much worse the wear, but you're gonna have to land a couple of real good hits
Oh
on
my
this
God.
guy to get him in one turn.
Okay, let's see if I got anything else going on that could help me out here. Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you know any of the tricks to any of these classes or subclasses, feel free to put them in the chat to remind our players. It's not like I spent a long time designing them and asked them to look at this before the session.
it's very rare that anyone plays a level 20
Yeah.
character. So
Mhm.
That is
Very
absolutely
rare.
fair.
we are a little overwhelmed with some of this stuff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot.
But the
It's
chat
like, wait,
has
I
the
have
ability
those-
to go and look these classes up and whatnot and make suggestions. I'm not saying you guys don't. You can totally,
We
it's an
get
open
it. We're
book test.
bad. It's okay.
Not gonna lie, I didn't realize if I made an unarmed attack, I can choose what element my unarmed attack could make.
Okay, I think I have something that can
Yes,
help me
although
out.
with
It's
golden
clear.
gouges, it's just force damage.
Yeah. But my first attack could have been lightning and not.
Yes.
Wait,
Rapid
is it-
strike.
If you take an action on your turn and have advantage on attack roll against one of the targets, you could. Oh, so I have to have advantage. I read that wrong. So I
Yes,
can't,
you
I
have to
can't
have
do that.
advantage on that one. But I believe Samurai has an ability to give themselves advantage if you would like.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not an unlimited one though, so you
Yes,
might
you
be
do.
better off just trying to hit him a whole bunch of times.
You
Yeah, I
can
might
use
just
a
try to hit
bonus
him.
action to give yourself an advantage, I believe.
You're also halfway through your attack action right now, so at this point you really should just finish up.
True. I was just trying to see if I had anything, but I do have some stuff. But I don't want to use them yet.
Yes,
That's
you
another
get the
hit.
feeling that we're only just beginning.
Yeah.
A 17 still hits.
Nice. Right.
A
21.
21, he is close. If you can get that much damage or more, you should be able to finish him off.
All right, I got one more. I think. Right.
You have one more. Let's go.
A man might. Wow.
We have our first miracle.
Oh my God.
Everyone feels the very warping of time itself slowing down. And people have seen Ron do exhibitions in the circles and the city squares before. In fact, one time him and Teddy faced off against an entire squadron of younger recruits. It was about 100 to 2 odds. And he did this move before where time seemed to slow down and he just flashed a single stroke that somehow hit everyone and broke all of their weapons. And similarly, right here, there is at the end of Kung Fu Panda, the first one where he does the skadoosh and you
Yeah.
just see the back, there's just a woof. That's basically what happens here. And rather than their bodies you just see motes of mist just kind of evaporate from where they used to be. Everything goes deadly silent. And just then, Neil goes, "Oh crap, there they are." As
You
two
guys,
very large creatures, Poca, if you're not, where's the chat looking at right now? If you could point the chat to the left side of the screen there, Matt. Two very large creatures that look sort of like if somebody was like, let's make a centipede out of a dolphin,
Ugh.
add dragon, and then make it Godzilla sized. Two
Oh,
of them.
that's. Oh God.
Since you guys aren't going to have to fight them, since this is a miracle moment, you guys recognize these as Dolphir, which is my personal take on a Behir, where it is a dolphin. Let me blow the art
Wait,
up
that's
here
a
real quick.
dolphin? I thought it was a shark.
That is a dolphin-looking Behir. The full art, I have it somewhere. I'll post it sometime.
Oh, wow.
But basically, that body keeps stretching on and on and on. But they take one look at what just happened, and they're like, it's the off season. We could always come back and visit New York at a different time. So
Nice.
we'll go look for our friends because we don't see them. So clearly we should go looking for them. And they just kind of turn tail and run.
See, I told you that was all. It was just a few of these.
We're out
these
of
things.
combat.
No big issue. I don't know why you're getting so worked up, Neil. Nothing else.
by the way, at some point our haste will drop, and me and you will feel very lethargic and like
Yes,
slow
now-
motion. Like
Neil, that nat 20 you rolled earlier is going to keep playing for just a little bit longer as Teddy makes sure that all of the civilians get off to where he knows there will be aid stations set up and emergency responders and whatnot. They're all going to be fine.
So when I did that move that wiped them all out, I just pulled it out of my my sheath a little bit and put it away. Right? Very just.
Yeah, no. In real time, a normal action in D&D takes about 6 seconds. That's the way you can get away with doing something like 5 attacks in a single turn. That one was just the click noise from you like unfastening the sword. Basically, it was a thumb flick amount of time.
Nice.
From someone who trains in thumb flicking. Neil, you fly up into the air and you take a look and go ahead and give me a perception check as there is something both to the north and to the south of you, and I want to see which ones you figure out.
I have the worst perception, by the way, in the group. So.
None of you guys have super high wisdom or intelligence.
I don't know. My perception is pretty bad.
And that was medicine, not perception, but we'll take the raw
It's the
11
same
plus 4.
It's still plus
If we're
4,
talking wisdom, I have a 6 in wisdom. It's
Well, the easiest thing to see is that directly to your north, I believe, yes, directly to your north, a large fire at one of the more commercial docks that you recognize as somewhere that the Imperial Provincial Spire uses for their personal shipments. And that fire is large and growing rapidly.
You guys, as much as we would like to bask in this glory of our victory, there appears to be a fire to our north, so maybe we should head in that direction. If there's nothing else here.
Let's go.
Okay. So you guys all make sure that the civilians are gone, and we're going to flip back to our map here real quick. Just so you guys get a sense of where we're going right now. We are in New York Harbor.
I need food.
Okay.
Yep, no worries. You guys are in New York Harbor, somewhere down here. If the chat is so far behind, I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing right now. But basically, all they're doing is going north along the shore to about here. Which, hopefully, Matt's screen will align when he switches. That is going to bring us to this map. Yes, it was aligned. You guys will be able to see that in chat. If you guys want to drag your tokens out, you will be coming in from the south. The fires are kind of burning everywhere up here. and you see a rather large bird that's currently sitting up on top of the crane tower, and it's just screaming at everybody. And everybody is looking really freaked out. There is also what appears to be a flaming suit of armor for an ogre size individual standing there looking confused.
Now, what did I tell you boys about that group? I told you they did not have this shit under control, and here we are cleaning up their mess again.
And about the same time that you guys arrive, where is he? Copy. And paste. You notice, standing to the north, just standing there, is Boba Streisand.
He big.
He is a chonky guy. He is definitely, now that you get a look at him outside of the kind of the grandeur of the Deeping Hall, that
The
guy
absolute
is
size of that lad.
large. You'll also notice that thanks to the donation of someone very generous, this bird is named Alvin. I have no idea where they got that name from, but it's almost as if I'm giving credence to a name that is already far storied in the normal adventures of the Dog Pound adventure. Perhaps this is the origin story of that name. Everybody who shows up, roll me Arcana
Ooh.
if you want to know what's going on. That is.
I got a nat. Wow.
I know nothing about.
Teddy is not the finest in the arcane knots, but he will indeed try to see what he can understand.
Neither am I. I wish that nat 20 counted, but it doesn't.
Well, luckily,
Hilarious.
you can guess that whatever this bird is, it's clearly elemental. Stand in the Lee, I'm going to message you what it is, if you can't already guess.
It's a bird.
Oh wow.
It's
No, it's a
Ho-Oh.
jackal. It's a jackal.
Guys, where's the Pokeballs? I found Ho.
Quick ball, quick.
Ron would say, "Hey guys, that's definitely a fiery bird. I know that
Oh,
for
and
sure."
then yeah, and so Stand in the Lee and Neil, you both recognize this as just a normal fire elemental that inherently likes wearing armor,
Oh,
which
fun.
maybe his AC is higher because I felt like level 20s would be able to chew through fire elementals. Specifically, they are the Ifrit,
Oh,
which is a sort of
Ooh.
genie in the D&D world. So they're a little bit more powerful than your average fire elemental.
okay. So do not use fire on this guy. Maybe I'll use some ice.
There we go. I sent Matt the message, so he has a guess of what it is, but it's confusing him. And clearly this thing is looking to pick a fight. So, as is the natural way with D&D, I need all of you to roll initiative. Head turn. 1. I need you to add turn. 4. And then where is
Ho-ho!
You know, at some point, I'm gonna play a character with high dex, so I can go first. I can't remember ever going first ever in my time as
Yeah.
a.
I have high dex as Wes, but I still
I
barely
play
go first.
snowboards.
Just
I
get the
vaguely
alert
remember
feed.
I vaguely remember Callian technically taking the first move in combat once, but it was because literally everybody else held their action, and you were like, "Well, I'll go if if I have to."
Even when I roll natural 20, I still don't go first. But this time, Mr. Moosevelt, lead us into battle, Rough Rider.
Okay, that's set. And then I need his initiative as well. Did I add him to the turn order? I did not. Alvin with coming in strong with a dirty 20 for initiative. Let us sort out, and begin. Teddy,
Yep.
you're not quite sure why that bird is on fire, kind of. But you sure as shooting ain't gonna let him set anymore.
Nope.
And I'm going to go ahead and give you an extra turn in combat for rolling a net 20.
All right. So first thing he's gonna do is start moving up. He's gonna push civilians aside and be like, "Get out of the way."
All right, I'm assuming that you move to here.
I'm going to move. Well, I was
Hold
gonna
on,
move.
because there's something's gonna happen as you go past this
Okay.
guy.
Yep.
As you start running past this guy, this gentleman is clearly looking scared. He goes, "Careful of the barrels!"
Of a what, lad? What?
You're running too fast. You get careful of the barrels
Ah.
as you
Okay.
go past. So you think it's probably not a good idea to squish any of the barrels.
Gonna fireball that.
You would.
That's probably a bad idea.
But
It's a
Teddy's,
decent guess.
When is fireball ever a bad idea?
but Teddy's
Literally,
gonna have
when the
him.
thing you're trying to fight is giving off its own flames. Just saying.
But Teddy's gonna have him move aside, and Teddy's gonna move up.
Yeah, he'll just he'll hear you coming and just move
Yeah.
out of your side.
Yeah.
Or out of your way.
Teddy's gonna move up to there for the first turn because that's with the sprint,
Okay.
and then second turn. Hold on, because it's being weird. There we go. I'm gonna move 15 feet to be basically at its base.
So this is here without him there. It's supposed to be like a tower or something
Yeah.
like that.
So he's
But
like
we're gonna
elevated.
say that he knocked it over or exploded it.
Okay.
And so that's only about 5 feet tall, and he's large enough
That's
that
fine.
you can reach up and hit him.
No, that's fine. Teddy's gonna look up at him and go, "Now, bud, I'm gonna need you to vacate these premises and go back to whatever land you came from before things get really nasty here. I already dealt with some aquatic folks in the other sector of town, and right now I really, really don't mind hitting things with my big stick some more. But I'm giving you this one chance to leave."
He didn't. He looked at you when you started talking, but it wasn't until you said the word leaf that he perked up and was like, "Leafs? I know what leafs are." And you get the feeling that he doesn't actually speak a language.
Oh, goddamn idiotic.
He is, however, very angry. And when you said leaf, a little bit more flames seem to come off of his wingtips, which are currently just kind of sparking a shower of sparks, sort of like
Alright,
when somebody's
like-
welding.
Okay, so Teddy's gonna take the increased flames as a sign of aggression, regardless of it.
Clearly, yeah.
And he is going to do Divine Smite on the damn thing
Okay,
with the big stick because that's his thing.
it's literally his favorite thing. Yes, that hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Whoa, that's
41 damage. Yeah, 41 damage. You clonk this guy and sparks go flying off of his wings. And he gives off a very chicken-like squawk, which coming from a bird that massive is like, oh. Okay.
Okay.
And that's your first attack.
Yep, and I'm
I'm
going to
assuming you're following that up.
Oh, I'm attacking it again with the big stick.
Okie dokie. Give me a dexterity saving throw, though. Ooh, with a 10, as you go to attack, you're just so inflamed in the moment. You hit that barrel, and they tip over, and they start rolling around. They don't break, but you do hit them, and it felt like it was empty.
Oh boy.
Go ahead and swing. A 27 hits for 26 damage, 18 bludgeoning, 8 lightning. And this time, as the sparks fly off of him, the lightning damage you hit him with like arcs out and cancels out the sparks, and he flinches pretty hard.
Now get out of here, damn bed. Shoot, be gone.
He looks more like he wants to hit you back than leave. Was that both of your turns? Because you had to dash.
Yeah, because the first turn was me sprinting, Second turn was me moving like 15 feet and then doing the attacks. That's both turns.
Being a paladin on a big map is fun, huh?
Oh yeah.
Now, it is Alvin's turn. Him being very angry now. You hit him twice. So as he grows in power and grandeur, you take 8 fire damage as his body heat just increases. He is also going to clearly make with the attacking of you. He kind of flaps his wing once, and then he chicken kicks at you, if you will, with his talons, which as he swings them, it seems like the motion through the air is oxygenizing his flames, and he rolls a 24 and a 29. Do those hit?
Against me, 19 does not hit. 24 does though.
It was a 29 and a 24.
29, 24. Sorry, yeah, both it done.
Okay, so he hits you twice, and you take a total of 31 fire damage from him, about same on each hit.
Nice.
And then he is going to hop down from his perch without triggering an attack from you. And he is going to peck at Mr. Pirate right there with his big old beak. He hits. And that guy takes 26 damage in piercing and fire. And his greasy, greasy pirate beard catches on fire as well. And he
Rude.
yelps in pirate.
What's a yelping pirate sound?
Yarg! Ron, it is
All
your
right.
turn.
I'm still hasted, correct?
Yes.
No.
No,
Wait,
sorry,
what?
no.
It only
Because
lasts a minute.
You guys had
Oh,
to, you guys had to run for several minutes to get here.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh.
I didn't add him to the turn order, but he didn't get a chance to roll, so he is simply going to be a 2.
Yeah, haste would have been gone by now.
Oh, damn.
And,
All right.
but so would your negative effects from having
Yeah.
taken it.
Mm-hmm. Shit. There's not much I can do unless I dash, but then I don't get an action.
But you
Let
could
me
use
see.
what's the fighter ability where you get a second action?
Oh yeah.
Get another two.
I'm gonna say that Ron has a very bad feeling about today, and this probably would not be a worthwhile endeavor
Mm-hmm.
to use action surge just now.
Yeah.
But speed is of the essence because everything around on this part of the docks is on fire.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I'm going to. I think I'm just gonna fly in this general direction towards this guy, toward the suit of armor, elemental.
The Afridi, yes.
Different, yeah. So I'll just start flying in his direction, head toward him.
He does not appear to notice you as you approach him.
Cool, because I can't really do anything else right now because I hit him. So I don't think I have anything I could do as a bonus action there. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that for now. Make my way toward
Okay.
that guy.
Stand in the Lee, you are up. And keep in mind, you can run on water if you want to go up and smack that guy. But it's about a 5-foot drop to the wood right there, and it's another 5-foot drop to the water.
Okay.
And so to climb up over here would be like 13 feet.
Yeah. Okay. So. Sorry, I'm just rereading something. Okay. As a bonus action, I'm going to use 1 key point. Use Step of the Wind, which is going to sprout my wings.
I believe
Okay.
they just last till the end of your turn this round.
Yes.
But for anybody watching, basically, he just wills into existence spectral dragon wings so he can fly.
Nice.
And I'm going to fly to about, let's say here. And then I'm going to land, of course.
And when you get up close to him, you realize that theory I messaged you is correct.
Okay. Taking a closer look, it's looking like this is a drunk phoenix, dampened.
And as he says that, Neil especially would recognize that, yeah, normal phoenixes are bright, blazing comets across the sky, and this one appears to have been magically not killed, because if you kill a phoenix, he simply rises from the ashes. They just damped his flame out considerably. And then when the wards fell, he must have been jostled or broken out or something.
But he's going to punch it anyways.
I mean, he's a dragonborn.
Ouch.
He's not super scared of that.
Can you change your damage?
Even with flanking, the 15 and 14 doesn't hit. But since you do have flanking, you do get that critical for that first one.
Okay, that'll be cold damage.
Cold damage, and we're going to use the dice roll from the first one and double that. So that's 12 plus 6 for 18 cold damage. And cold damage in his normally doesn't hurt a phoenix, but since this one is dampened, that does double the damage. As he is not a happy camper, and you feel like that didn't go towards his that hit didn't actually count towards his kind of give it back with more ability he used on Teddy when he got hit earlier.
Okay, that'll be my turn.
As you do that, though, he is not super happy, and he does try to poke you with his beak. Does a 26 hit?
26 does indeed hit.
You take 16 fire damage and 7 piercing damage as he pokes you on the noggin with a legendary action.
Okay, so that's 16 fire damage, so that's 8 and 7. What? That's not how that works.
No, it is not. That's it for your turn. So, Neil, you just saw cold damage working on him, and you've got some theories. You'd love to tell us all why, but you're not quite sure if that should wait until after he's taken care of.
True. By the way,
But
what's
theoretically, it should be possible to dampen a phoenix like that. It would just take incredible planning and foresight.
what's this thing down here?
That is an Afridi. So it is basically a fire elemental genie.
Oh,
They're very angry, chaotic, evil type genies. They're the kind that you don't make a wish from
yeah.
because you know he's going to screw you over.
What to do?
Oh my god. Dragonheart finally noticed the bird's name.
Why is the phoenix?
There we
named Alvin?
go.
So we can
There
find
it is.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to.
Someone donated for it.
Yeah.
Don't worry,
Can
Dragonheart. We're not really killing Alvin. It's just metaphorically speaking.
Alvin exists across the multiverse of D&D game.
Can I shoot the Afridi? Or has this guy not attacked us? Or...
He hasn't. I mean, I'm going after him, but he hasn't done anything yet.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna-
he hasn't done anything malicious to us yet. It's mostly been the Phoenix.
He's an evil genie. I would know that.
Mhm.
So I'm going to shoot him with a ray of frost.
I haven't been checking the chat at all. I swear to God. I appreciate you being here. One of a kind knight is somebody who plays in my normal campaign, so this is sort of like seeing someone that shouldn't be on television be on television for him. Neil, you're like, ha! If we do the right amount of cold, everything should go perfectly. And you do, but you forget that cold air sinks, and you're kind of a little far away. You hit Teddy in the back with Ray of Frost. He takes 12 cold damage, and
Speed's
your
reduced
speed
by
is
10.
reduced, because that's what the paladin needs. He needs his speed reduced. Of course, you feel just slightly guilty for that. But you have it. Neil deKalb Tyson is famous for a lot of things, but being a heroic martial type figure, not necessarily one of them.
No. And in that case, out of a bit of my embarrassment, I will use my bonus action to spread out my wings and fly a little bit out of sight. So I
Okay.
will fly a little bit backwards in this direction.
Goes into hiding.
I'll go.
Go ahead. And
Yeah.
is that it for your turn?
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that from this point of view, Neil, you would definitely see it. Stand in the Lee, just your ability to know things kind of mystically, not supernaturally, but mystically as a monk. You kind of glance over your shoulder, and Teddy, you were very irked about being hit in the back of the head, so you half turned around to glare at Neil and let him, have a piece of your mind, but you didn't quite get there because as you look, Bobus Drysan lifts up his cane and a huge grin spreads across his face, and he just lightly taps it on the ground, but when he does, you feel it all the way where you are in the docks, and all of the barrels jump up into the air as if he just fucking sent them flying. And with a 62, y'all lucked out. One barrel breaks. Two barrels break.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
The
no.
barrel you just knocked over breaks.
Oh,
What?
no.
The barrel
Fucking
right there
hell.
breaks. And most importantly, the barrel right there breaks. And
Oh
more
my god.
horrifying looking visages of fire burst from their boxes and barrels. And looking at the shrapnel remains of the barrels, you realize that those were disguised to look like normal barrels, but very clearly arcane cages meant to keep these things from returning to their genie vessels. And you get the feeling you might be screwed. And with that, they all let out a fiendish howl, even though you know they're elementals and they're evil, but they're not demons or fiends or anything like that. They're simply beasts of fire. That being said, they are still terrifying, especially when there's 6 of them. And Neil and Stan and Lee is close enough. So Neil, Teddy, and Stan and Lee definitely recognize this. Ron, you've seen fire spells before, but you're not quite sure exactly what it is. But basically, they all cast Wall of Fire on the Phoenix.
They all cast?
They all cast, all 6
Well,
of
I can't
them.
even counterspell that. There's like 6 people casting the spell.
Oh my god.
You are Neil DeKelp Tyson, though. Does chat want to donate and see if we can get him a nat 20 here to counterspell
I'm ready
all of them?
to counterspell, but I don't know who to counter. If I counterspell,
Someone want to
one's
donate
left.
$100, make a miracle happen on a counter
No,
spell?
this because I'm
I'd
prompting
rather
it. If
donate
somebody
for
wants,
disaster.
if somebody
but-
wants to buy a nat 20, I would allow that to happen. Which I would then give you a chance to counter all of them.
Oh,
Because this is definitely going to be bad. This is a dampened Phoenix right now, as you
There's
may guess.
what do I have to do? Inspire a player?
there's no rewards. There's for nat 20.
Oh, well,
It's fine.
There is
It
the
was a good-
miracle buy. If someone wants
that's
to
a
donate
little expensive. But
$100.
if somebody wants to do that, I will name like all of the unnamed monsters after you for the rest of the campaign.
If
Of course,
someone
you'll have to come
donated,
up with names for that, but yeah, if somebody donates $20, that'll stand. But as it is, the Phoenix simply, well, one hates to be a little bit, on the nose, but he starts to rise.
Phoenix.
He doesn't catch on fire, though. He simply seems to glow more vibrantly, and he starts hovering about 2 feet off the ground without flapping his wings like a Pokemon animation. But essentially, he just took 6 times 30 fire damage, which apparently does something.
Oh wow.
With that, it is the dock workers' turns, and they are all going to scream in fright because this is very bad for them. That guy runs away. That guy runs away.
Dry sand.
The guy who yelled a warning. Yep, the dash.
gone.
He makes it off of the map. The pirate who just saw his friend's pirate beard burst into flames. He runs off the map. The young guy who looks kind of like Orlando Bloom runs off the map. This guy, saying that all this is very bad, and he's dressed a little fancier. The guy next to Stan Lee right here, he is dressed a little fancier than everybody else. You feel like he's probably not a dock worker, and he might not have had anything to do with this. He cries out to Momoa in a very thick New York accent and takes a running dive into the water and misses. Because if you'll notice here on the map, it's pretty shallow right there. He clonks pretty hard and gets up and starts staggering into the water, but he's not safe yet. The guy whose beard is on fire drops to his knees and starts rolling out the flames, which draws the attention of the beast, of course. And he tries to rake him with some fiery talons. He hits. That guy takes another 14 damage, and that is enough to do it in for our greasy bearded friend. He
Poor
passes. And he is still technically on fire, but like it's kind of beyond that at this point. The only notable person who doesn't run is this gentleman right here, who he lines up some sort of spell. You're not quite sure what he's going to light off. Well, actually, no. Definitely, Teddy would recognize Guiding Bolt,
Oh,
Nice.
which will hopefully give you guys advantage if he hits. I've got to pull up the spell for Guiding Bolt. 46 if he hits. He does. He does 4d6 damage. This thing takes 19 radiant damage.
DC
And
0.
he starts to glow, and you guys will have advantage on him for the next round until he goes again. So let's see, for that we'll put that on him. That is a symbol. So keep in mind, you guys have advantage kind of regardless. And with that, it is Teddy's turn. We're going to add you to the turn orders because the other guy left. Teddy, you're standing right next to him.
Yep.
And him.
Yep.
And him.
Yep.
But the good news is that when you're surrounded, you can go any way you want, and you're sure to hit the enemy.
You're right.
Just close your eyes and start swinging.
You also, I want to say, might be particularly well suited to this because the only person near you is Stand-in the Lee, who you know would probably be able to get around it. If you want to at this stage in the game, I'm just going to put this in chat from your character sheet, but it's in GM, so only you can see it. Or I hope you can you see that? Did you see what I put in chat?
Nope, because that only goes to you.
I meant to click on you. I did not click on you.
You're messaging your chat. I mean yourself.
Well, no, if I'm seeing if I put it. Look, you
Yeah,
have
when you put it to GM,
the last spell on your thing, basically.
the very last spell.
The very last one that you.
Oh yeah,
listed.
no, that was what I was looking at.
Okay, cool.
Don't worry, that one became quickly the number one option. I'm just making sure I was
Sorry.
like considering one other thing. I was considering one other option, but yeah, that one's absolutely gonna go for it. So we're gonna do it.
Okay. He takes his stick and he just mimics Boba's dry stand as he locks eyes through the smoke of this Ifriti in front of him. And he just smacks it on the ground, and from that light smacking, a 5th level spell of Destructive Wave bursts from him. And in 30 feet around you, that hits everyone except Ron and the guy right there. So, standardly, you'll need to make a Constitution save as well, technically. But we all know that you're really good at everything because level 20 monks have.
Oh no, it's each creature I choose within 30 feet. Those two are fine.
Okay, cool. So let's see.
Oh, thank God.
I was about to say, do I have to counterspell you?
I
Stop that.
definitely wouldn't, because that is an awful lot of damage to do to, because that's not just 18 thunder, 17 necrotic for a total of 35 damage. That is 35 times the 6 people he's hitting. So that is
Oof.
math. And I'm personally against math, but you know, if someone else in the chat wanted to do it or something like that, that's totally cool by me. Your DC is 20. Only one of them makes it. Let's see if the big guy makes it himself.
I'm gonna uninspire that one.
The one who made it?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So does that mean I roll again, or he just automatically fails?
I think it's literally just negative inspiration dice.
Yeah, it's negative
Oh.
inspiration dice. So he rolls an inspiration
Well,
dice.
he only
and
beat
then-
it by 1. So if you take away any of his stuff, he fucking doesn't
Okay, then
make
there you
it.
go.
So
He doesn't make it then.
Perfect.
he doesn't make it. Good job. So all 5 of the elementals don't make it unless you want to actually roll that dice, because the Efreet also made his, or not the Efreet, the Phoenix also made his saving throw. Which would you rather?
We'll do the elemental because
The bird elemental or the Efreeti elemental?
Afridi, I think he meant.
yeah.
Okay. So they all take 35 damage. And the man up there takes just slightly less than that. As a brilliant flash of, I'm assuming radiant, not necrotic damage.
Radiant, yeah.
That makes sense coming from a paladin.
Oh, yeah.
Flashes out. And everybody takes the damage like normal. Except Alvin, who makes his saving throw. Which means
Man.
he only takes... What's half of 35? Is that
This is great.
17, 18?
35 is half of 35 is 17 because you round down for halves.
So he's still up. And is that it for your turn?
Yep.
Okay, you don't want to use a bonus action to enter your tunnel fighter? Because if these guys...
Yeah, you know what? I probably
you
should.
get to hit them.
You know, you're right. I probably should. Tunnel fighter it is.
Okie dokie. With that, it is Alvin's turn, and Alvin has been hit a total of, what, 4 times now?
Yeah.
Did I count that right? Because he got hit once by your spell, twice by Stand in the Lee. Oh no, 5 times because you hit him twice.
I only managed to land 1 blow.
That's right, 4. So we're good. And then of course he got hit 6 times by the Afridi. So this is gonna come and not be great for you guys. As he explodes into flames. And I need a dexterity saving throw from Stand and Teddy. And Ron, you won't get hit by the damage, but you will feel the backdraft of an explosion of fire coming off of him as he deals, which Stand in the Lee makes it.
Nice.
Yay, no
And
damage.
Teddy does not. Teddy, you take 60 damage.
Oh god.
Stand in the Lee simply... You know what we're gonna say? We're gonna say Stand in the Lee simply turns sideways, and somehow all of the heat misses. And Teddy like looks at him like, "Dude, that shouldn't work." And Stand in the Lee is just like, "I picked up a lot of tricks over the years. Don't worry about it."
I like
And
that.
all of the Afridi around him, they start to burn a little brighter as well, almost as if there is a feedback system going on here, as he returns some of their power as well. And then this thing, seeing that Stand in the Lee simply ignored his very well-planned attack, he is going to try to peck and then scratch all at Stand in the Lee. Does a 21 hit?
Nope.
Then I'm going to assume that a nat 1 also doesn't hit.
Nope, that hits.
He takes off, and as one of his things is that you do not do... This is actually really great. One of his traits is that when he does a specific attack, he does not provoke opportunity attacks. Teddy, as a level 20, has the Sentinel feat along with Tunnel Fighter, which means he gets to attack anyone who moves, even if they don't provoke opportunity attacks. Teddy, go ahead and roll. Doesn't matter what you roll, even if it's a nat 1, you hit, and you're going to knock him off balance right here.
All right. Let me roll.
And Stand in the Lee, you are going to just nimbly hop out of the way as he comes crashing to the ground right here, sacrificing the rest of his turn. And you do have advantage on him because of Guiding Bolt, so you just nat 20'd him. Go ahead and hit him with the big nat 20 damage.
Oh, shit.
So he turns his back on Teddy, and Teddy's like,
Don't you turn your back on me, you filthy animal.
I've seen a lot of shit in my day, but this takes the cake. And he spanks him for 33 bludgeoning damage
Wow.
and 24 for 57 damage. Goodness sakes.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
He sparks, and believe it or not, as he falls, he seems to shrink in size. And all of the Afridi's go, that's not good. With that, it is Ron's turn.
Can I get a free
Okay.
action to just turn and look at the Afridi's and make a taunt?
Yeah, actually.
Teddy's just gonna turn to them and go, do you want to see what my men can do?
Give me an intimidation roll.
Oh, please let this be high. Oh.
You beat them by a factor of 25 with a 28 because they critically failed.
Wow.
Oh, they critically failed?
Yes, so we're going to say that the
Oh.
one to your right just kind of goes, I would rather not see that, sir.
Oh, he's
and he just kind of, all of his flames go out, and he just kind of turns into a kind of cloud of smoke. And then
If
the
Teddy
other
can get
guy,
if Teddy can get one last word in, he's just
Absolutely.
gonna yell,
you clipped there, I didn't catch that.
Raiders. He's gonna yell Raiders.
Okay.
Just actually call upon them. Do we just drop them in?
Not until your turn, remember?
Okay, that's right.
But and you technically have to blow the horn. But yeah, the other one, he seems to shrink down as well. And there is still one barrel that was an actual real barrel. He opens the lid of that barrel and he starts trying to climb in it, as in like, hey, I'm cool. Everything's fine. Everything is chill.
That's
But
hilarious.
everybody else is just kind of like, what is going on right now? Ron, it's your turn.
Okay, so I moved 15 feet flying. I'm flying at this guy.
This guy still doesn't notice you. He is
great.
looking perfectly focused at Alvin.
Great, because I'm flying at him. I'm holding my katana, my revengeing, with one hand, because that gives me a +2 bonus damage. And I'm going to attack at this guy.
Okay.
25.
A 25 hits.
Nice. It's we'll say 14 slashing, 4 lightning.
He takes all of that.
Nice.
However, it does give an odd metallic clang. Because typically Afridi don't wear metal armor, because typically it just melts right off. And you do leave a glowing scar, like a scratch, in his armor where it's red hot, but it doesn't seem to damage the integrity of it at all. And he does finally notice you.
All right, I'm going to keep this whole time. I'm just going to keep attacking with my hands so I can get that +2 damage.
Actually, while you're doing that, I'm just gonna throw in a quick because I'm not sure if we made stream aware of this yet. Due to technical difficulties, Kishumo will not be able to do a run today. So we will be continuing D&D for the time frame of his run. So we will be continuing until 5:55.
Which that's not for...
Another 50 minutes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, I just had to throw that in there because technically speaking, Kishumo would be starting right now.
Okay.
Okay, so I will get another attack in there. Ooh, 23.
23 hits.
Nice. 12 slashing, 16 lightning.
He...
6, sorry. 6.
Whoa, yeah, I was going to say. He takes the 16 damage. You leave another score across his armor.
Mhm. 18
and
damage. I still
it's
get that
really
plus
hard to
2.
tell what a living flame is thinking. But
Mhm.
you're thinking this guy is like, hey, this armor is supposed to protect me. What is going on right now?
Okay, and I will attack again. That's 18 damage. I still get that plus 2, I think, because I'm dueling with one hand.
Did I add a
Is there a way to do that? Oh, there is a way to do that.
Did I add a tick?
Yes,
Yeah,
you
I did.
did.
So
I just
if
clicked
you
it.
click that, then yeah. So but that I'll add in I'll retroactively add in the 4 damage we missed.
Okay.
Um,
All right. I
and
will.
then from go ahead and roll. You've got 2 more attacks left.
Mhm. Yep.
Yep, keep hitting him.
20.
That one actually does clang off his armor, and he's like, "There we go."
Let me see. Is there anything I could do about that? I don't think there is.
Well, you can tell that basically his AC is 21.
Okay. I'm
Like
just
he
trying to
was
see
so close to hitting.
Oof. I'm just trying to see if there's anything I could do to make that hit.
Retroactively, I don't think there is.
Okay.
Not for a fighter.
Yeah, I think the only thing is like the plus 2 damage I get. Okay. That sucks. And now I'm pissed and I want to do it again.
Okay, 25 hits.
All right.
For 24 damage with the extra.
Mhm.
24 damage. You hit him, and you can't see this guy's legs
Mhm.
here, but you'll notice in the rest of the images for the Afridi, they're kind of like genie bottoms where they're like kind of ethereal and smoky on the
Mhm.
bottom. This guy's wearing a belt, and that's kind of like the lowest piece of armor on him. And when you hit him with that last one, his belt falls, and it's kind of like a cartoon. Like if a flame could wear underpants, you can now see his underpants, and he looks embarrassed. And like another hit or two will definitely do him in.
Ron will yell, "Oh, look at this guy! He's not wearing any pants."
And
Uh-huh.
I'll break that, guys.
Okay, anything else from you?
Let me see. Anything with bonus? I don't know if I want to use anything yet. Nope, I'm good. That will be all.
Okay. Stand in the Lee. It is your turn. The Phoenix is not prone, but it is small and it's looking weaker.
Okay.
Pretty chill.
Okay, I'm going to start with unarmed attacks.
They both hit.
Oh wow.
His
Okay.
AC dropped when he shrank.
Okay. This is gonna be cold damage.
So that's 26 damage and 30 damage for a total of 56 cold damage. Let's see if he makes his shock check. He does. So he does not shrink any further, but where you left your imprint of your fist, it is shriveled and
Okay, so it's still standing is what I'm getting.
charcoaly. Yeah, but
Okay.
he's looking very much weaker for the wear, and you can tell that whatever beef that those Afridi gave him, it's just about gone. Flurry of blows, 20 hits.
The 18 does not.
No, the 18 does. The 16 hit last time.
Okay, so that'll
So that
be
is
another
30 and
21.
18. 30 plus 18 is 48.
42. Wait, I
Wait,
did my math wrong. Never mind. 24.
Okay.
48. Yep.
he shrinks yet again away from you, and he is starting to leave, like just actively falling from what used to be his body mass is a fine mist, a very thick fine mist of ashes, and you can tell that he's starting to retreat.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move up, and that'll be my turn.
Okay, Neil.
Okay, I will move forward, flying 30 feet forwards to about here. And then I will let out a cry. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. And I will cast where's the spell? Ice Storm. And I will say the cold never
Nice.
bothered me anyway.
Oh my
And
god.
Ice Storm
Shut up,
is
Frozen.
a 20-foot radius. I'm going to center it around here so it hits everything here except for Ron. There should be, if it starts in this spot, it should be good. Like right here.
Ice Storm.
And let me cast that spell.
Are you hitting your compadres or no?
No, it's 20-foot radius. So if I center it here, I was calculating it. It shouldn't hit anyone except
24.
these 4 things here.
Yep. So you
Yeah, like that. Yep.
slam
So
out
yeah,
an ice storm.
ice and hail fall from the sky into
Dexterity
this spot.
saving throw.
Is that a
Yep.
Not
custom
these guys'
token or?
It is a purchased
Whoa.
token from
Oh,
somewhere in the
yes.
distant past. It is an entire pack that you can buy on Roll20 for every rules as written spell that was currently in the game. So like Fizzband's not in there, but everything that was published, like I want to say as of Rime of the Frost Maiden, I believe, was in there.
Now for some reason I don't see the spells in my sheet, but it's not on the first page for rolling damage. So
That's
I will just
totally
roll.
okay. Because this
Yeah.
rolls double, and it's going to do an awful lot to these guys, and all of them
will
failed
roll.
except the little guy who, as you cast that, he actually managed to get inside of his barrel.
Yeah, so that's 7 bludgeoning, and
Got
then
inside of his barrel.
So
and then
7,
second number is the cold damage.
7,
So the first one's bludgeoning, the
and
second one's
7.
cold.
And
It-
just
and-
so you know,
Yeah.
half of that guy's barrel breaks as you freeze it, and it shatters, leaving him exposed again. But he nat 20'd it, so he took no damage.
Okay, got it. And
That is
also,
one
that
handy
terrain,
barrel.
And
that
that
terrain
is
is not
32 damage to all of them. And the ocean waves right there are frozen in place down on the shore as well.
Nice.
and that is difficult terrain until my next turn.
Dope.
And that's the end of my turn.
They're very unhappy, and they all see you now. It is Boba Streisand's turn
Ugh,
again,
this guy.
and he gives you guys a kind of an appraising look. And if you look at him, I'm going to drag him into the center here, so that way Matt doesn't have to change where the viewing is. But if you look at him in his art, his little cane there is a skull. He flicks the skull open, and yeah, okay, that one. This Ifriti right here off to the side gets sucked into it like it's a genie vessel.
What?
And Bobus winks, turns around, and starts briskly strolling away.
That's either really good or that's actually good or really bad.
Yeah. The Ifriti are officially freaked out, very cold, and their leader is tiny. So the one who climbed inside the barrel is going to peek his head out and just look at Teddy like, "Hey, I tried to surrender. What do you want me to do now? There's no barrels left." Teddy, are you going to point or anything? He clearly doesn't share a language with you, but he's looking to you for direction.
Are these barrels behind me still good or no?
No, there was an
So that's the
Ifriti
other
in
one. That's
that
the
one.
one. Yeah, that's right. But there's no other barrels nearby then.
There was.
Technically, there's that one, but that's on the other side of the structure, so you can't see it.
Okay.
And then you remember running past some barrels over here where Neil is, but Neil's up in the air, so.
Tay's gonna point towards where he last saw barrels. That's just like as a
Okay.
sign of like there's barrels over there. Go now.
He takes off. Are you going to take an attack of opportunity on him?
If he looks like he's gonna run, like if he's actually
Nope.
like,
Nope. He is genie flying directly towards the barrel.
yep. No, I'm gonna let him go then.
Yep.
Let him go.
He goes in there, and he is now currently trying to hide in the barrel. Which that's great. The other 3 though, do they take damage from Ice Storm on their turn also, or anything like that, or is it just difficult terrain?
No, it's just if it's not even concentration, so it's like a 1 turn like shot.
Okay. The other 3 Ifriti, seeing that everything is going very terribly wrong, they're all going to go ahead and they're going to hurl flame. They all kind of conjure a it's kind of like Firebolt, but if Firebolt was max leveled and then some, the cantrip. They all three of them conjure one. They all hurl it at the Phoenix. 2 of them hit, 2 of them do not. Or one of them does not, rather. And then Ron, you are going to get an attack of opportunity as that guy leaves.
Nice.
The guys in the snow, or the ice rather, this guy flies out to here and looks exhausted, but he's clearly trying to escape. The other guy succeeds his throw, and you recognize some sort of planar shift as he's just gone out of the snow. And then with a 19, you do not hit. So
Damn.
this guy is going to manage to fly, or start to fly away. With that, it is the last civilians' turns. The guy out in the water up north groggily gets up and starts swimming away. The guy who's casting spells is going to go ahead and run over here to the genie that ran over here, and he is going to start securing that guy inside his barrel.
Nice.
And Neil, you're too high up, but you hear him muttering to himself in a very thick New York accent, and you recognize him as being from Territorian Island. So he's automatically not worth thinking about. Teddy, this thing is clearly within a couple of hits of being dead.
Which one? Sorry, the Phoenix?
Yeah, the Phoenix.
Okay.
Don't worry, we're just murdering Alvin.
Yep.
Well, keep in mind, you can't actually murder a Phoenix without a wish spell, basically. So worst case scenario, this is something that someone else can deal with.
It absolutely looks like injured. Is it still being aggressive?
Yeah, he's still giving that avian like, hey, I'll mess you up, buddy. I'm the rooster of this flock here. This is my territory. But he's also like a rooster whose farmer.
You may have been trying to be the biggest bird here, you damn piece of chicken tenders, but I'm a damn bigger threat to you, and I damn as well have the biggest stick. And I'm gonna swing at him.
Okay. As you swing, you very clearly hit. And you're not quite sure, but everybody else, well, actually, no, Neil and Ron aren't on the ground. So stand in the Lee. You are the only one who notices that there is another aftershock type tremor in the ground, but stronger, just slightly. Teddy, you don't notice it because you're currently hitting something, so you're just assuming it's the impact of you hitting them, shaking the ground, because that's totally something that happens. This thing takes the 24 damage, and if you had to guess, you could probably roll on a 6-sided dice how much HP he has left.
Okay. Well, he's gonna swing again, and this time he's gonna do another divine smite in it just to try to finish it off.
Okay. 25, go ahead and roll damage. That takes 21 normal damage plus the 16 radiant for 37 damage. And he is dead twice over, basically. He does shrink first. And then he poofs into a large pile of ashes, which is concerning. But you took all the starch out of him, and when he died, he didn't explode because clearly something had happened to him to keep his fire dampened. But unless Ron wants to chase down the fire elementals that are heading out over the open ocean currently.
No, I'll land. And I'll just...
Okay. With that, we are out of combat.
Did you guys just feel that tremor?
What tremor? I barely spend any time on the ground as I land.
It felt like the one like earlier.
Oh.
Just
maybe something else in the city has
that would be my guess.
By the way, did you guys see that guy? What was his name again? He was at the council meeting before.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
dry sand.
dry sand. Yes, that was it.
Yeah, what
Sure,
was he doing
wet
with?
water. I forgot.
He kidnapped an elemental.
Yeah, he kidnapped one of them.
Yeah, but did
Basically.
he also release them?
Well, I mean, I was back there, but all the barrels went flying into the air. So I think he did that.
Yes, I don't know why he took one. I mean, and he left. Doesn't seem too good to me.
Maybe he's trying to punish the city for, or at least the silver faction for what they've done to the city, or
But
what they were.
punishing the whole city for one faction's actions.
What they're trying to do, and by far I do not blame him. If someone wronged me after having an agreement, I damn well would like to beat their face with my big stick. But I've done that plenty today, so we should probably just go and talk to the Silver Faction for now before I decide that violence is the only option for solutions today.
First things first. Are all these elementals? Are they all gone? They all fleed out into the sea.
In this area, at least, I believe so.
Yeah, there are no more visible.
Do I know about the one that's in the barrel? That's what I'm trying to get at.
You would have, because he basically flew
Mhm.
directly under you.
Oh, okay, cool.
So yeah, the guy over there is just basically he's standing there sweating, not just because he's standing within a few feet of a fire elemental, but because he doesn't necessarily trust it to stay in the barrel. But he is also casting wards on the barrel in the hopes that that is
Okay.
enough to keep it shut.
All right, Ron's gonna. I'm gonna go check on. I saw the other one fly over. I'm gonna go see where it went. I'm gonna go to this guy.
Sorry, I
Over
was. Yeah. Okay. So he is sitting there, and he's like, y'all tell me that the fire elemental's out here, and I just put him in a barrel, and it's like I didn't know why is it going in the barrel, but it's in the barrel, and I'm not gonna let that chance go. And when you walk up, he goes, "Oh my goodness, Ron Perlman. Yeah. How you doing? It's good to meet you. It is good to meet you.
All right,
Sir,
all right.
I have your fire elemental in the barrel here for you, sir. And it's Teddy Roosevelt standing in the lee.
Great.
What's next? Neil DeKelp Tyson?
Yeah, he's
He
showing
turns
up
around.
shortly.
He sees Neil DeKelp
come
Tyson,
in.
and instead of going into shock, he's like, maybe I have magic powers.
What's your name?
My name's.
Okay, great.
If you need a name, there has been a name since. I don't know if you
This
saw
guy's
it.
not important enough for somebody to spend money on his name. Trust me.
Okay.
Oh no,
Great.
he's gonna get killed.
So you secured the elemental way in here?
And yes, I did. I think I've never done that before. It was a class that I actually learned
all right.
from Tyson. You know, I'm a big fan of DeKelp. I'm a big.
Shut up. All right. I'm gonna pick it up.
It's
I'm gonna
great
pick
to
up the
meet
barrel.
you. Hello.
Okay, when you pick up the barrel, there is definitely this time it's not a aftershock. That is a very minor earthquake, and it lasts for about a good 15 seconds.
Whoa.
Which
Yes.
is concerning.
All right, I definitely felt that one. And I will go to the edge. I imagine I could do everything that I'm about to do because I have a 22 to my strength, like plus 6.
Are you just gonna chuck the barrel into the sea?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna throw the barrel into the water.
Okay. Teddy, are you gonna stop him? Technically, that's your fire elemental he's trying to douse.
Now hold on this. That elemental was proper to get back into that barrel without much of a fuss.
Yeah, so it's a fire elemental. Do you think it'll stay in here forever?
You're right, but it seems to have learned its lesson to stay well behaved while it is within our borders.
All right, fine. I'll put it down. I'm
And
just
Teddy's
gonna
gonna
wait.
like lightly knock on the barrel, like not to break it or anything like that, but just like lightly tap on the top of it, and just go. I hope you heard that in there, sonny boy. You better keep yourself well behaved, or my stick will be meeting your face very shortly.
About that, I kind of worded it so he can't hear and we can't hear. It's like a barrier for something. It's just
That's fine.
No.
That's fine. He doesn't know that. He's still doing it because that's how Teddy
that's
is.
the guy standing there explaining that to Teddy.
Oh.
Now, son, I do not care whether or not he hears me. I am just making sure that it is well known that my stick will meet his face if he does misbehave. Whether you're the one that tells me or if I find out by his actions.
All right, let's go find dry sand. Lead the way, Moosefelt.
Okay, so I'm going to.
Well, I said that because I want Moosefelt to start walking away, and I'm gonna wait a little bit, and I'm gonna the barrel into the water still.
This way,
You
Mr.
do-
Muzel.
You do so, and as you guys are all sprinting away, you hear the guy go, should I dip? Okay, take luck. Thanks for saving the harbor. I'll just start putting out fire.
Good job, kid.
Now, there is a very curious sight because as you guys are running along the harbor, you remember that I told you there were a couple of things going on.
Mhm.
Let me just prep this map real quick. That guy's not supposed to be there. These guys are supposed to be here. I'm just going to put us on this map real briefly because we're not going to have time to actually fight this fight. But as you guys run past the harbor, you notice that there is a dead deep dragon, which is a very high CR monster, which haven't been seen very often. There are a bunch of sailors that are still left alive, standing here looking in awe at its corpse and at the single dragonborn with a nondescript magic sword, just kind of standing there, panting. Everybody go ahead and give me either an Arcana or a Nature or an Insight check. Dealer's choice.
Okay, I will definitely do insight.
I'll do
Ah. My skill checks have been such bad rolls.
Yeah, but your attacks really haven't been other than the catacomb.
That's
By the
true.
way, has anyone else, when they click roll, they still have to click the screen?
No.
Mm-mm.
Just me?
Okay,
I
so
literally have to drag dice onto the screen.
as you guys walk past, you don't necessarily notice this, but it is a long walk back to pretty much anywhere else in the city, and there are still alarm bells going off way distant, but they're not the combat ones, they're like the problem ones going on. So let's see, stand in the lead with a 23 on Insight. You sense that man is a low-level Gloomstalker Ranger. Ron, with a 13 on Insight, you sense that he is a very low-level druid, possibly Circle of Spores, because he looks like, I don't know, mushrooms. Neil, with a 26, you know him instinctively to be another arcane master such as yourself, specifically from a Blade Singer school. And Teddy, with a 23, you sense a fellow paladin.
Ah!
However, he is simply standing there cleaning his blade, and it doesn't seem like the most important thing, because right about the time you guys pull up there and are walking by, I'm going to take you guys back here to the main map. All of you know what here. Actually, we're going to use Teddy as the party here. So you guys are here roughly on the map, right?
Mm-hmm.
In order to get back to New York, or not New, you are guys are in New York. In order to get back to the Imperial Provincial Spire, the road is going to go something like that. That's the quickest route, right?
Mm-hmm.
However, once you guys are at about this intersection right here, off to your right, there's a massive necromantic explosion, but only on the plane of magic. Basically, there's not an actual explosion. You just feel a wave of necromantic energy. And I need you all to roll Arcana.
Fuck yeah, 1.
What?
Head?
Another catacle.
My God! And with Arcana, my worst
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
actually kind of funny.
You got a 19
I
on
can't
it.
believe I did that twice.
Ron the Perlman actually has had several nasty encounters with exactly what just happened. Ron knows and is terrified by the fact that what you guys just heard was absolutely 100% his personal phobia, vampires.
No.
Oh.
Here's the
God.
question. Are you
Mhm.
guys going to go check it out for yourselves, or are you going to continue up to the capital? Because you're getting a sense that there's a lot of shit going on in the city right now.
Ron will say, "You guys feel that? I felt this one
I'm-
too many times."
I'm going to say with a catechal right that, Ron's
Mhm.
like, we should definitely get to the spire.
Oh,
Right?
okay, yeah, that's what I was going with anyway. So yeah, vampires. Let's keep going.
I'm fascinated by the vampires.
Vampires.
Maybe we should continue.
Yeah, we should definitely continue.
Maybe it's as
It's
interesting
something
as how many times my accents keeps changing.
Of course.
Stand in the Lee. Now you'll notice he has a very, very archaic name for a dragonborn. It's because he's so old. He was just named in a different era. Over the years, he has been known by so many various personas of various heroes as the common folk give him nicknames, and then his exploits rise and fall and wax and wane, that he just kind of in his old age jumbles in his mind and occasionally talks differently from when the linguistic drift in the city was accurate. So as a party, quick vote: are you guys going to go check out the vampires, or are you guys going to keep going back to the spire and see if anything else is happening?
Back to the spire.
Sure.
Yeah, Spire.
I do have a
Okay.
spell good against
I guess my
vampires.
vote doesn't matter.
No, but in doing so, you know that the generals, or not the generals, but the captains of the city are currently out and about. The guy over in Stallone in Territorin, he has sounded the all clear for his sector. And the guy in, I think, Deniro. No, not Deniro. Iron Mike has sounded the all clear in his as well. Do you want to signal one of them to go check it out?
Yeah, get Iron Mike to come.
Okay.
'Cause he's
So
closest.
Iron Mike is going to be heading for the cemetery sash. Well, you guys head up to the Imperial Province Spire, and we are almost at the end of here, but this is actually good that you guys are skipping that, because right about the time you guys are crossing the bridge there's another small earthquake, and that adds some urgency to your guys' step. So you guys start dashing to get there in time. And right about the time you arrive in the courtyard. Yeah, you're all dashing. Very dashing. Right about the time you guys arrive in the courtyard, a full-fledged, like a 5 on the Richter scale earthquake hits. You are officially confused. But as you pull up to the Imperial Province, there is a city square directly in front of you. And as you stare at it, the first of the real catastrophes of this campaign starts to happen. I'm going to put you guys on the map here. I don't think there's any tokens here yet except your old ones. So go ahead and drag your guys' tokens out. You guys would actually be on this side, on the left side of the map. And you guys have you guys are level 20 characters. You guys recognize a rift in reality to another plane when you see one.
Ugh.
And very, very unfortunately, there were people of some kind on the other side. And I'm going to post them, but everybody roll me Arcana to see if you recognize these things right off the bat.
I've got
Nope.
another cataclysmic.
On Arcana.
Oh my god.
What?
Let's put these
That's
nat 20s to
funny.
Arcana.
A 20
Okay.
and a 2.
So,
Gives me a 19 because my minus 1.
Roland, the ever storied and infamous Pearl Man himself,
He knows everything.
he knows exactly what these are, and that actually fits because they are technically pirates of a sort. Teddy, you're just assuming these things are brand new. Stand in the Lee, you've actually run into these things, but you know that you wiped your memory of them, so you have no idea. You're not helpful. Neil, you read a textbook about them once. falling from the sky as if somebody just yanked a carpet out from underneath them, about 15 feet up in the air. A rift to another plane ends, and collapsing to the ground is a rather large cadre of illithids,
Oh.
including a couple of real big buff ones. However, the only one that seems to not be affected by gravity is the one that lands on the statue right there in the middle very gracefully. He also doesn't look like the rest because he only has a couple of tentacles and he's got these weird like cartilage style horns on his head, and he just looks at everybody else that just fell through the rift with him and just shakes his head. Like, how would you like to proceed?
I'm trying to think of it if it's time to pull out some big guns.
Oh, Teddy's absolutely just grabbing onto his big stick again.
How bad are illithids? Like I don't really compared to what we faced.
Well, with a
already.
with a nat 20 on
Mhm.
that, the deep drakes that you guys fought were like
Mhm.
a CR5, and there were a
Mhm.
bunch of them, but they really didn't do too much damage. The Afrides, I think, are a double digit, but very low double digit. These things are probably an 8, I think, is what they are. But they are terrifying in large numbers. They're
Okay.
terrifying if one of them catches you and you're a lower level. These things are brain stealers, basically.
Mhm.
They're
Okay.
they're not good, but these ones also seem to be confused about why they're here.
Maybe we should try some diplomacy with them and ask them to go home.
That's my specialty.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm the whatchamacallit. I am the
You're the diplomatic leader, yeah,
diplomatic
or the
leader, yeah.
diplomatic envoy, technically.
Yeah. I am on the deep admiralty of the diplomacy and international incidents. All right, so I guess first thing I'll do at that suggestion is I'll take a few steps up and talk to this big guy in the front since he looks like he's in charge. Excuse me, Master Illithid.
He
What are you
turns
doing
and
here?
he looks at you, and he starts because he didn't realize that this was an inhabited area.
Mhm.
And he begins to speak in a language that nobody recognizes, but he quickly looks at you and realizes that you don't speak that. And
Mhm.
you hear speaking in all 4 of your minds a telepathic link.
That might
Uh,
not be true. I might understand.
Do you understand deep speech?
I think Monk has a thingamajig when it comes to languages.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
Tongue
You
of Sun
do.
and
You do.
Moon.
Level 20. Mother, goddamn.
Yeah.
So he just starts going in deep speech. You just understand him go. Well, of course there would be other life forms where we land here. I can't believe the foundations of our house fell in. But he's not looking at you. He's looking at Ron, and Ron's like, "What?" So he starts speaking telepathically.
The
Okay.
But he goes,
foundations of your house?
yeah. He holds up both arms, and he says, "Greetings. We come by accident. I'm not even quite sure why. I am the herald of these illithids. I am Slappy Joe." That didn't translate well. Hold on, let me try again. I am Slappy Joe. No. What do you call someone in your language who tends to hit things with the flat of their hand repeatedly and is
No, I think
named
that's correct.
Joe?
I think you're actually on the right one there, mate.
Yeah, Slappy Joe seems right to me.
Very well.
Now, I have a more serious question for you.
Yes. How?
Where
And
did you come
he's
from?
clearly like trying to cover for the fact that all of his guys are stunned and dazed right now.
Now, where did you come from, and where will you go? Where did you come from, Slappy Joe?
It took me a second to get that.
Oh, jeez. Okay. I'm gonna count that as a nat 20. He's gonna be completely honest with you.
Oh my
Um,
god.
He kind of almost against his will starts saying, "Well, we had built our house, I guess, up there in the astral plane. It was quite lovely. There was a great foundation, which you never find in the astral plane. and it started wiggling a little while ago, about as much time ago as you guys felt the first tremor, which that's out of character, but that's what he's implying.
Mhm.
And he goes, and then just now, our floor disappeared. We appear to have fallen into your lovely city, and I assure you, we mean no harm.
Oh, well, there's been some problems here.
I'm gonna insight that just to be safe.
That is a very wise thing. Let's see
That's
if
true,
he can.
yeah.
Let's see if he can beat you.
Could be
Anybody
low.
else gonna roll insight?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll roll insight.
We're all gonna.
24.
All very insane.
One last chance to beat him.
I'm going
No one's beat
to
him?
inspire.
You're gonna
Okay.
inspire.
I'm assuming you're inspiring
Wait,
Ron.
what? Temporary out of stock. Hello. You're not supposed
That's
to be.
got to be a mistake. We haven't done any.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That and it's supposed to be unlimited, but once every 10 minutes, according to meta.
I
Says
don't. We
rewards
haven't.
on
I haven't. Maybe somebody redeemed it and we missed it or something like that. But I'm just gonna give it to you.
I don't see it
But
anywhere.
if
Yeah, I
you're,
don't
are you
see it either.
are you inspiring? Who are you inspiring? Yourself
No,
or?
the person
Yeah,
who
okay.
rolled higher than me.
Yeah, he
Oh,
rolled a
me?
25. So if you roll anything,
Oh, okay. What's my
you
what's
think
my-
that this guy might be a paladin from another plane, and you're like, did we just become best friends? Whereas Ron
Mhm.
talks to people about their intentions for a living and knows with absolute certainty this guy is an opportunist. It's not that he had no idea. Clearly he had no idea that their roof was just going to disappear. Basically, you're gathering that these guys had built their enclave in the astral plane, which is something that mind flayers do, and you got a nat 20 on that, so you know this about them. They built their fortress or their enclave or whatever you want to call it. They must have built it on top of the ward that Momoa's power gave the city. And right now, with the flickering and stuff like that, basically what he said, the floor gave way. They fell through the astral plane. They're here now. And while he doesn't have plans for invasion, this is not a battle-ready force, clearly, because they're all confused and cursing right now. Don't turn your back on him without a game plan.
Okay.
Because illithids like to enslave people psychically.
Yeah.
All right, Ron's gonna look at Slappy Joe, and like, well, that seems strange that your floor gave out, but
I know, right?
yeah, weird. But I'm gonna be honest, the city's we're kind of going through something at a moment where reaching our max capacity of population wise. So, I mean, might be better for you. Definitely better for us. If you, I don't know, maybe try to return home to your astral plane. We'll figure out what's going on. I think we
Believe
could.
me, this place is full of smells. I don't have a nose, but I know it's full of smells. How messed up is that?
Yeah.
Believe me, we would like to leave, and we'll do so as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, most of those smells are maybe me. I don't know. Can't say. Been out in sea for a long time. But,
I can't tell. I've never smelled before.
yeah, it's a great sensation. Some things smell good sometimes. We have a lot of good bakeries in here. You have to try the cannoli. Amazing. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm sure you could get back. You seem pretty powerful. Might as well just, well,
It'll
give you a
take
send off here.
It'll take, and he turns around, he counts up all of his guys, and he's like, ooh, well, apparently not everyone came, so it'll take me a hot minute to form a circle. If you don't mind us drawing a magic ruin over there, we'll be out of here in 10 minutes, roughly. Which Neil can back that up. That is about the average time for a ritual cast of that size for a shift like that,
Ron's
basically.
gonna look at Neil because like the rune thing, he doesn't know if it's like because of what he just sensed, he's not sure if it's actually like this guy's. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna inside check that.
Okay.
Because
And
Because I don't know if when I'm inside checking, is the rune is they're actually trying to
Yo,
get home.
how many 20s have you gotten?
Okay,
I've
so
rolled so
first of
many.
all, that's
Rigged.
insane that you have rolled so many. But second of all, you technically win because he also nat 20'd,
Well,
but he only rolled a 26.
Wow. Let's
So
go.
you win, and you actually see, like you've had this happen before. It's kind of like the samurai thing where you go zap zap zap. He
Mhm.
definitely is gonna take all of his guys and draw a magic sigil, but you also told him that your city is overpopulated, which
Mm.
means all they have to do is cast some AoE spells and they'll be able to siphon as much death as they want.
Ooh.
And clearly that's not a good idea with these guys.
Mm-hmm. So do I actually think they're gonna go back, or they're gonna take the opportunity
No.
based on what I said?
No, if you just okay what he just said, drawing a ruin over here in the pavement,
they can bring more people.
low estimate in this part of town, 1,800 people dead, easy.
Cool. All right. It's time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ron the
Whoa,
Perlman has seen this kind of shit before.
what the
In
hell is
a
that?
very samurai-esque move, time seems to slow down.
What?
If you've ever seen a certain game about metallic elements that are, very sturdy, specifically the one that seems like a typo about getting back at people, which I'm not quite sure how much copyright there is involved in this, but the name should tip away what's going on as he strikes 85 times for 3 damage apiece in the blink of an eye. And Slappy Joe literally just kind of dissolves as if he had just been hit 85 times for 3 damage. And he just kind of slides apart like a horrible meat Rubik's Cube and dissolves into the fountain. That
Whoa.
places Ron here as he basically blinked over. And because they all just got clonked and rolled at disadvantage, nobody noticed.
Wait, all these people are passed out, right?
Hmm?
All these illithids are passed out, right?
They're not passed out. They fell. They were prone. They were clonked on the head, so they were woozy, and they're all just starting to stand up now. But since he was speaking telepathically, not to them, nobody noticed Ron just turn him into the finest of calamari, the finest sliced calamari. But when they look up, they're like, "Hey, why is the guy with the sword standing in a fountain? Why is the fountain red? This is a weird dimension. It smells here.
We
I
had
don't like
to,
this." So they're kind of leaderless and lost if the rest of the party wants to run up and be like, "Hey, y'all should go," or just attack. Either way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ron will.
Yeah, go
Unless
ahead.
someone else wants to say something.
No, you go ahead. You were already up there.
Ron will say, he'll pretend like nothing ever just happened. Hello, creatures from another realm. I think, I don't know how you got here or how you found yourself here, but, this is our land. Just us. Think it's time to, head back to wherever you're from.
Give me a persuasion roll or performance. I forget which one I gave you a bonus to.
I don't know. I have. Oh, I think persuasion. Yeah. Yeah.
One of them,
it's
I
persuasion.
should have marked one of them as a skill that you're proficient in.
No,
If
I
didn't,
have.
choose one
Yeah.
because that was supposed to happen. You're a diplomacy guy.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll add the proficiency to persuasion. Okay.
What?
Oh my god. Let's go.
How does
Okay,
he run
go!
D&D? Just nat 20 everything.
Oh
should just-
my
Naturally,
god.
nat 20.
I'm gonna go
Yeah,
back and
so
count.
you say that, and most of them are still looking groggy. Most of them don't speak common. You forgot that was a problem. I was gonna
I
have some fun with
translate.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you don't even have to because a couple of them do speak common, and a couple of them realize that that's not human blood red fountain. That's a danger sign. So basically, the two big ones start gathering everybody up while being like, "Oh yeah, no, we're totally gonna leave now. It's been lovely visiting your smells, but we left something boiling in our dimension, and so in two little cadres, one by one, they zap out of existence.
We left the oven on at home. Gotta go.
They
Nice.
opened the astral or the rifts to the astral plane. Standardly, you're the only one who's been to the astral plane because monks can do that.
Mhm.
Neil, you've seen other people do it, and you say you've done it, but you haven't. Standardly, give me a perception check as you hear something very disquieting from the astral plane in the brief moment that the portal is open. You're pretty sure that the upper group just got devoured. Which
Let me check
implies
something.
something is in the astral plane.
Uh-oh.
Which, for those of you who are unaware of how the astral plane works, basically there are layers of reality. Basically, like in IRL, there's the Earth, and then there's the atmosphere, and then there's space. In D&D, that's true, but on a magical level, it goes Earth, atmosphere, the border ethereal, the elemental planes, the astral plane, and then all the outer planes like heaven and hell. These guys are just hopping basically from one place to another to either teleport or fast travel or however you want to do it. But in order to do that, you actually have to step into another place of physical existence. Taking a peek in there to check to see what's going on is our intrepid stand in the lee. And for anybody who is, I'm just going to go ahead and say, too familiar with the game, you may recognize an astral dreadnought.
Whoa.
Whoa.
No,
Which
thank you.
Basically, this thing is a floating thing that hunts in the astral plane for anything that's alive.
Mm.
It is very evil. It has a massive anti-magic cone, so you can't use spells and stuff like that. And it can instant KO you on a critical hit if it catches you in the astral plane. It can also, if it doesn't instant KO you, it can zap you to a demi-plane like the Deck of Many Things will do. In fact, it's theorized that the Deck of Many Things sends you on the imprisonment card, it sends you to the inner stomach demiplane of an astral dreadnought. So essentially what this means is that you are cut off at the pass. You are stuck on this plane of existence for the moment, which you can
And
probably guess that either this thing ate its way through the weakened ward or is possibly sitting here on purpose because the ward in the astral plane is down. Now we are almost out of time here. So I'm just going to hustle this up real quick for story plot so I can leave you guys with a real great hook next time. As you guys are returning to the castle, or not the castle, the Imperial Province Spire, Stallone and Den Iroh are here. And about the time Stallone shows up, Den Iroh sends up the all clear. So currently Creeklin is free. Maharani's sent up the emergency or not, Iron Mike in Maharani sent up the emergency signal. As you guys approach the Imperial Spire, the entirety of the melodic faction, so Lady Germanata, Three Pack Shaker, and the notorious or the infamous BIG, who we all know votes is good. Yeah. They're outside, they're freaking out, and you guys run up, and Harbor is there as well as Crimson Nahadjan, who works with the Regent's office. They are all freaking out because the ward is failing around the city. There's a final earthquake.
I
And as you
wonder
guys are
why.
standing in front of the Imperial the Imperial Provincial Spire, a few terrifying things happen. And I'm just going to leave this here as a real fun. Make sure you tune in tomorrow as several different very messy things happen. I just need to grab their tokens real quick.
New York.
Well, so yeah, New York is about to be toast, as in Territorian Island. Hold on, let me.
Actually, the only
Let's see. None of
safest
you guys,
spot.
none of you guys are holy, but you guys would all know celestial beings. Does anybody here know what an Empyrean is?
Nope.
CR 23, wingless celestial, and you count at least 3 of them falling to the sky over Territorian Island.
No,
Oh my
no.
god.
Skimming like a giant rock is some sort of stone disc. You're not quite sure what it is, but it's approaching Creekland from the ocean. Hold on, I'm just trying to get all this stuff ready because I'm about to show you what's going on. Copy and paste. I need one more. Who's the last one? Ah, that's right. Okay. I'm so sorry. I should have had this ready earlier. It's one of the things that I forgot to do. It's on the GM layer. Paste. So, there are several massive giants, but they're celestial, that just landed in Territorian Island and are about to start wreaking havoc.
Oh my god.
In Creekland, approaching from the west, is some sort of giant skipping stone. It runs out of momentum right next to the shore. You assume that it hit the continental shelf or something, but climbing out of it is what appears to be a horde of electrified, i.e. storm, giants. Maharani's infamous for, or at least now infamous for its vampires, has all that necromantic energy that just got released, right? You feel it reverse and implode into a single point near Lighthouse Community College. We're just going to assume somebody nat 20s a roll for the sake of time. That spells one thing. Liches.
Huh.
You're all freaking out, presumably because of all the bad things happening. But another astral plane opens over the city, and another group of about 5 meteors roar down. You're not quite sure what it is that hit the bronze, but it looked like it had a lot of eye stalks.
No.
No.
Honestly, as you guys are like, this isn't good. This is definitely not good. I think now is a good time to panic. Down by St. Hattrick's Cathedral and the Madman Cube Garden,
These names.
you all feel a familiar feel because in the tragedy of the 9 warlocks and 11 patrons, a portal to hell opened in Dude Cat Brown. The infamous incident referred to in shorthand as 9/11 that destroyed the paired towers. Very similar feel here. There's fiends.
Oh no.
So you have your adventuring party and 3 armies and 5 threats to deal with. Tune in tomorrow for another exciting adventure of Current